And we should be live, okay? Okay, well, first things first, always gotta grab the stream link. Let me just give me a minute, alright? Here we go. Not expecting today's stream to be super long. There we go, got it. Yeah, I mean, I tried to do, like, one weekend stream and then one weekday stream. I've been kind of slopping on. I've just been kind of busy, and it's a late stream, so I don't expect many people to show up, but, I mean, it was either now or never, since I was, you know, busy up until now. So, okay, that looks good. Okay, that looks... Alright, anyway, I guess... I don't know, what should I guess we'll just jump... Oh, wait, shoot. I should have set this up better. Frick. Put that there. And... I mean, that should be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. Anyway, so... I guess let's just do the first... Or should we do the update first? I'm just gonna start with this story first. So... Finally, some good news, okay? I've been saying it's over for ages. However, all right, it might not be over yet. As you can see here, pictured masked Belfast youths on the streets after migrant stabbing. All right. Actually, let's start with one of these news stories. Anti-immigrant violence breaks out in Belfast following knife attack. What to know about the stabbing that set off fiery riots in Northern Ireland. Yeah, so here we are. Basically, as you can see here, this, this doctor, engineer, lawyer, scientist, okay, literally tried to decapitate a man in broad daylight in Belfast, okay, in Northern Ireland. And the people of Belfast are... you know, rightfully not taking it, not taking it very well. All right, so, well, it looks like this was, blocked or something, but, you know, they are, you know, protesting en masse, okay, and they are revolting against, you know, the government that let these invaders in, you know, the invaders themselves, and I gotta say, it's just pure Kino, as you can see here.
Situation.
Or here, let's watch. It's from the BBC, apparently.
This is what a small minority of people in Belfast considered the best response to a serious stabbing.
That's right.
Homes were targeted and burned. Families had to be led to safety through the flames, rescued by emergency services, risking their lives in the most dangerous situation. It's what the authorities feared all day, what they warned against and pleaded not to see. The condemnation came quickly and was widespread.
And what you're seeing is a race-based pogrom. We're seeing men going door to door, asking to get the foreigners out based...
Hi, Kai, how are you doing? I'm doing good, thanks. Yeah, anyways, so... I don't know why it's not pausing. Twitter's fucking... But yeah, anyways, so that's one clip. Here's another one. In Belfast, they're hunting asylum seekers house by house. Pro-invasion politicians responsible for this disaster in Europe. And they really are. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how widespread this is. Because you know how the media is, you know. You know, you get like one thing like this and they turn it into like a massive circus, right? But I mean, look. Put it this way, the only language that these migrants and these politicians understand is violence, alright? You know, ordinary people, we've been expressing our concerns for years, okay? You know, like, the "you voted for this" meme, that's actually not even really true. If you look, I'm sure it's the same thing in Europe, but in America, the American people have always been against immigration. Okay, yet the politicians always kept doing it. Alright, here's more videos. In Belfast, asylum seekers' homes and cars are set on fire. And look, this is what has to be done to protect their homeland, okay? We already know about all the grooming gangs in Britain that the government covered up. All right? And look at this. But this is what happens, okay? These people, they come, you know, from these barbaric fucking fourth world countries, okay? Where's he from? Sudan? Shit. Alright, where this kind of stuff is just commonplace, okay? Here we go. More migrant houses have been burnt.
Down here, guys, because...
And I mean, look, maybe some people get cold feet, but I mean, think about it this way. America exists as a country because the people decided to violently revolt against their government, alright? And, you know, we could talk about that. You know, I think the Founding Fathers and, you know, all the revolutionaries were based, of course. But, I mean, in retrospect, the average American at the time had a much higher standard of living than the average European. And then they crashed out over a tea tax, right? So, it's not like it's not like it was this, it's not as noble as, you know, people say. He's just a pro-doctor that did a street surgery. Can't believe people would launch into a fiery but mostly peaceful protest. Exactly. Okay, this is fiery but mostly peaceful protests.
Whoa.
Man.
Oh, fuck.
Wow, stop importing, start deporting. Wow, is this the same Turning Point, or is it like a completely separate organization? When did Turning Point get so based? There is no political solution. The Belfast eviction? Okay. Oh my... Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. My god. Well, first they came for the gypsies, then I said nothing, for I was not a gypsy. Then they came for the Somalians, and I said, make sure you get all the Somalians. Okay, we're getting some Kino here. Ooh, let's check out this one. UK caller goes scorched earth on politicians responsible for mass immigration and the destruction of Western civilization. Hell yeah.
Of being told that anybody who stands up and says that is far right. It is common sense and nothing more. I don't know how many people contacted this show in the first hour, but there was one voice note that stood out. And before Richard Tice, wherever you are, just pin back your logos. This was Rob.
Morning, Jez. On my way to work, as normal. Listening to you talk about the thing that happened in Belfast last night, all the unrest. Well, yes, rightly, you shouldn't condone what happened. What else have people got to do? They're not listening. The political class are not listening. These people who are coming over here illegally, they're rapists, terrorists. They're coming over here. It's literally like putting a wolf in a sheep field. You are giving them a target-rich environment. You haven't vetted them. You've done nothing. All you've done is dump them in a place where they can wreak havoc. Where they come from, guess what? There's no law. If they can do literally whatever they like. They come over here. There's lawyers, of course, taxpayer funded. They get a nice cushy home, running water, Sky TV, gym memberships, bus passes. They can literally go where they want and create havoc. And when they do, the people that foisted them upon us, guess what? They say, don't get upset. Don't do anything. Don't go out and cause unrest. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. Stop reaping, then you might not have to sow it, because this country is absolutely on the edge. They cannot take much more of people getting stabbed, raped, blown up, you name it. You foisted it upon us for the last 25, 30 years, ever since Blair said, I'm going to rub your noses in it. Well, guess what? What goes round comes round. And I think the political class have got a very, very, very big smack on the nose coming.
Oh my god, talk about based. Man, fire, yes. Man. I'll say this much, I bet those fires feel awfully warm, alright. I never understood Europeans' obsession in housing immigrants, especially Muslims. Now look where we are. I mean, America is definitely not much better on the immigration front, but it is honestly so ridiculous how they pull this shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, yeah, but let's see here. Northern Irish women can be completely proud of their men. The second night of anti-immigration explodes across Belfast and other areas. The Patriots fight hand-to-hand with heavily armored police who are protecting the criminal illegals. Holy shit. That was so Kino. Look, they're making their ancestors proud, alright? Yeah, here it is. African woman was recorded reenacting the attempted beheading of an innocent white man in Belfast. They think it's funny, uncivilized, and deranged. Yeah, I saw this one too.
Anybody, look, she's doing it again, she's doing it again. Look, look, look. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, Evie, get over it. Oh my god. She's lying on the ground like this.
Well, look. I mean, that's the whole thing. For them, it's just a joke. They don't... That's the whole thing. They don't care. Even a lot of the normal ones don't care. It's like with the frickin', what is it, the Carmelo Anthony thing? You know, you have all these black people who are, you know, running... Who are, you know, covering for an literal murderer. Okay? This is how it is. Oh, shit. Man, what else do I got here? Oh yeah, this tweet from the Pope. Alright, people wonder why I'm not the biggest fan of Catholics. The drama of migration must serve as an appeal to the conscience of the nations of origin of the migrants, which must establish conditions for peace, justice, and development. It is also an appeal to the conscience of the transit nations, which are called to protect the vulnerable and not leave them in the hands of criminal networks. It is likewise an appeal to the conscience of Europe, which cannot claim to uphold human dignity while growing accustomed to the Mediterranean and the Atlantic becoming unmarked trade, as well as that of the international community, which is called to effect and preserving cooperation. Fuck. Every boat that arrives brings a question along with the migrants. What kind of world have we built? If so many brothers and sisters must risk death to seek life, human dignity demands legal and safe pathways, rescue and assistance, real cooperation against traffickers. See, it's all such bullshit. Okay? It's not any of our fucking responsibility to take care of the entire fucking third world. Alright? But I mean, look, and it's definitely not our responsibility to take in even a single one of these people, alright? And look, this is sort of what you just get with Catholics. I mean, and I don't know, there's some Catholic copers in the comments, I'm sure, right? And look, maybe Catholicism was based once upon a time. I'm sure a lot of things were based once upon a time, but, you know, this is kind of the end result when your religion, you know, is basically like proto-globalism. You know, Catholicism, the term literally comes from the Greek word for universal, you know? And like I said, this is a problem more broadly with Christianity, but, you know, with Protestantism, you know, you can make your own church. You know, Orthodoxy kind of has that, you know, ethnic component, cultural component. But, you know, Catholics explicitly, and, you know, even with Catholicism, I think like 20% of Catholics are European now. Maybe it's even less, but it's very low. 0 angels found, hello. Anyway, let's not get too wrapped up in that. Yeah, this was interesting. How racial groups rate each other. As you can see here, blacks are the most racist, while whites are the least racist. Very interesting. Anyways, what else? Oh yeah, but maybe we'll take a break now to talk about... I'll give an update, actually, real quick. So I've been working on this video on Ina. She's this, you know, feminist, you know, Annie-tuber video essayist. And, you know, I've been working on this for a while. I gotta say, man, the video, I'm pretty much done the video now. I actually just finished the render. I'm gonna watch it one last time, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. But it's 44 minutes long. Alright. So, it's really long. I definitely bit off a bit more than I could chew with this one. I do want to make more of these response videos to all these tourists, but definitely gonna have to restrain myself a bit. I'll probably cover this Addie chick next, maybe. I wanted to cover her for a while. She doesn't have as many stuff, but here it is. Anime gatekeeping debate. It's funny, this one she made in response to people calling her a LARPer for buying figures from shows she never watched. She has one on, oh yeah, that one. I think I reacted to that one on stream ages ago. But anyways, I might go after her next. Anyways, though, Oh yeah, there's this one. Or I don't know. Dengeki Daisy has been serialized since 2007. Okay, no, here. Official Dengeki Daisy TV anime adaptation announced for 2027. The story follows Teru Kurabayashi, a 16-year-old girl whose brother dies and leaves her with a phone connected to the mysterious hacker Daisy. The manga by Kyosuke Motomi, Queen's Quality, was serialized in Shogakukan's Betsukomi Shoujo magazine from May 2007 to October 2013, releasing a total of 16 volumes. This is a project Aniplex teased yesterday with a countdown. Breaking, chopped fatherless tourist has bread tube thumbnails and stupid opinions. Yeah, no kidding. But look, I mean, someone's gonna knock these people down a peg. Anyway, so as you can see here, we're getting some peaked shoujo content, alright. But basically, this whole story, it's about this 16-year-old girl who has a romance with this 24-year-old guy. And of course, I still have S. I don't really need that, actually, but... Anyways, so you have, the usual suspects all bitching out over this one. Let's see. I didn't bring up any, meltdown tweets. But yeah, people are freaking complaining about the age gap. Because you can't have age gaps in anime. Who cares about it being fictional? Alright. So people are complaining about that, like here it is. Dengeki Daisy has been serialized since 2007, almost 20 years. Existed quietly for nearly 2 decades with very little controversy. Now that an anime adaptation is announced, suddenly a bunch of people are having a massive crash out over the age gap. Textbook tourist behavior. If you... yeah. Not worth losing our heads trying to call out these LARPers and tourists. They mostly want to clout from their repercussions. All we can do is gatekeep somehow. Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't know. Calling out these people is a part of the gatekeeping, I think, at least. But yeah, here it is. You're the problem because you still approve of pedo behavior. Just because pedo material has existed doesn't mean it's ever been okay. Japan is a serious problem, not drawing moral lines that protect children. They should keep them far away from you. Yeah, here it is. This is what I mean. Fuck. Yeah, we have to protect the drawings, by the way. It's honestly crazy that someone can write a single story for so long. It actually kind of is. But, I guess people find it. I guess people find a way, right? And here it is. Japan is one of the lowest crime rates in the developed world, and it's completely normal for young children to walk to school alone. That's the whole thing. People say this shit. Okay, how is the epicenter of all this, Diddy-ass Epstein blood behavior somehow one of the lowest crime rates in the developed world? Okay, in the world entirely. Okay, it's a completely ridiculous preposition. Never heard of this series, but it's always funny when LARPers find out about a manga that Westerners don't know about. Yeah, no kidding. Blue Archive drama. Yeah, we'll get to that. Basically, Blue Archive brought on some tourist streamers to promote the game. Man, so yeah, it's crazy though. I don't know why. I don't know how these people... It's crazy that they even watch anime at all, considering how much of it is problematic to them. I think some people forgot until a year ago age of consent in Japan was 13, then 16. Yeah, more misinformation. People always say that. It had a federal age of consent of 13, but every prefecture had their own age of consent ranging from 16 to 18. Anyways, though, I guess I could, I don't know. Let's look through some of these quote retweets. Got anything here? I don't know. I should have found some more stuff. But I'm just kind of, yeah, today's not a very... 16 is the standard legal age of consent in 30 U.S. states, Canada, the United Kingdom, Japan, and many other countries worldwide. Yeah, that's another part of it. Blue Archive didn't learn the first time with Connor about tourists. Apparently not. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Or, I don't know. Should we just talk about it now? Should we just talk about it now? Actually, fuck it. Let's just talk about it now. Yeah, so here it is. To celebrate our, Anyways. To celebrate our Fest update, we've partnered with 4 incredible creators for a special influencer campaign. Tune into their streams, enter your member code through the event page for a chance to win Pyroxene. Okay, so first off, they got Brandon Talks here, who he used to be decently well liked, but everyone on Twitter at least hates him now because he defended some, Troon tourists, of course, right? I heard Guitar Rock and Velo City are all right, but, I'll give Brandon a pass because, I don't expect the BA team to keep in touch with all the fucking Twitter drama, right? However, Fobmaster is, quite the character. Yeah, isn't Germany way more guilty? Their age of consent is like 13 or 14. Yeah, in Germany, it's 14. Technically, it's 14. It's kind of weird how it works, but it's 18, no strings attached, and then 14 as long as it's not, like, exploitative. I don't know who these guys are. Guitar Rock is my fave. Last I heard, that Brandon guy didn't seem so bad. I didn't even notice he was so hated. It happened pretty quick. Basically, you had some Troon tourist who was calling Blue Archive fans pedos or something, and then you had a guy in response post the Troon Jack hanging itself meme, and then Brandon jumps into the thread and is like, "This is disgusting and appalling. I can't believe you guys are doing this," and and the whole point is that, something like that shows where his values really are, because he gives the Troon calling people pedos a pass, but then he tears into the person, posting a transphobic meme. All right? And, on Twitter, at least, it's understood that a lot of the stuff is just done for gatekeeping purposes because, all the worst tourists are woke leftists. Bro sounds like Keir Starmer. Wow. If you're talking about me, then that is absolute. I do not accept that. All right, that's pure slander. Skeleton in the closet is banging the skeleton in the closet, just banging the closet at this point. Yeah. Anyways, oh yeah, here it is. I had a bunch of clips, but baffling that Brandon became a bigger boogeyman for the community over moral policing. They feel they shouldn't belong here, compared to a literal closeted lolicon critical consumer who's a worse moral fag to the point of even acting like a typical auntie. So here's some clips of Fobmaster, who I think is the real problem one. I'll give Brandon a pass, but here's...
Who is this? No, I know who it is because it says their name in Korean, so I just searched it up, but like... Damn, she's pretty. Oh god, here we go. The real risky part right here. 17.
Oh yeah, you better not find the characters in the harem game attractive. What the hell?
Do you think people who play Blue Archive are weird? No, you can play Blue Archive without being weird. But Blue Archive definitely has a lot of weirdos. Just like I think most people who play FGO are absolute fucking weirdos, but doesn't make the game doesn't make it so if you play FGO you're a weirdo, right? It's just that a lot of people are weirdos. Just like Genshin Impact has a lot of weirdos. Just like every gacha game has a lot of weirdos. Is it every gacha game? Yeah. Please explain why you married Laffy in Azurlane. No, I did not. What? No, mine was Ayanami, wasn't it? Pretty sure it was Ayanami. Why are you making shit up, bro? Huh? Why are you making shit up? I did Ayanami.
Yeah, the pixels are 17. Yeah, exactly. And keep in mind, this is the guy who's now promoting Blue Archive. He thinks the entire premise is problematic. I think only like 3 playable students are 18. I think it's just Kyoko, Makoto, and Wakamo. I think that's it. Everyone else is underage.
Ayanami's also a kid? Okay, I mean, sure, you could argue ages out of all these characters, but if you saw Ayanami's wedding dress outfit, it was...
Taiho and Laffy are my wives in Azure Lane, and I'm proud. Hell yeah.
Probably the best out of all of them.
Jeez.
Studio, or is it just like... Okay, what the fuck? What's going... I'm going to jail. Hello? Seems like Nexon is just fucking up another thing. I will say, if Project KV is good, maybe this is my opportunity to start over fresh on a new game, right? Because at this point with Blue Archive, I've become such a tourist, there's no going back and catching up. It's
he called himself a Blue Archive tourist. Fucking no shit, bro.
It's impossible, right? But with Project KB, maybe this is my opportunity to, like, you know, pick up, especially if they do a lot of similar mechanics with Blue Archive with the raids. I kind of do want to pick it back up. But not Blue Archive, especially if a lot of the older employees and a lot of the artists left. Because honestly, studio, or is it just...
Yeah, so self-aware tourist, yeah, and he's simping for Project KV. You know, the goofy thing is that this is still... Project KV was still a student-teacher harem game.
This is why I hate that Blue Archive gets so much slander for being a PDF game. Like, if you, like, ignore most of the fucking weirdos in that community and just play the game and enjoy the game for what it is, like, it's got really good quality, you know?
Yeah, ignore the weirdos. Game is made by and for these so-called weirdos. You know, this is what I mean that's crazy. I mean, okay, just think about, you know, just do any Momo talk. Basically, every Momo talk is just slice-of-life romance between sensei and whatever student. Or even if you just look at... This is the whole thing. I might eventually make a video about Blue Archive's main story, but... You know, you could squint your eyes and say the Blue Archive main story doesn't have anything weird in it, but you're just lying to yourself. You know, first meet... You know, in the prologue, when Sensei meets Wakamo, he can flirt with her. He can drop a pickup line. When he meets Shiroko for the first time, he says she smells nice, even though she's sweaty. There's the famous Iori foot-licking scene. When you first meet Aris, she's naked. What else is there? Oh, you know, there's the bath scene from Volume 4, you know, and this is all stuff in the main story. So, even that's ridiculous. The game is weird itself. Ignore the weirdos, the people who the game was made for. Saw a vid where the devs were just simping for their characters. I loved it. Yeah. So, this is the guy who they were like, okay, we gotta get him to promote the game. And I mean, look, I do have some, you know, sympathy, empathy for, you know, the global Blue Archive team. You know, because I'm sure they, you know, have to try and boost up the game's numbers, increase revenue. But the whole thing is that for Blue Archive, it's kind of impossible. It's really difficult because Blue Archive has a very low ceiling. You know, and that's because it's made for a very niche audience, okay? And, you know, everyone who's already, you know, basically everyone who would have been into Blue Archive is already playing it, right? Or has at least tried it, especially since the Steam release. You know, and, you know, this is a very niche game. It's very otaku targeted, straight male targeted. And also it's mostly a visual novel. You know, visual novels are a pretty niche genre, you know? So, you know, no matter what they do, there really isn't that, they really can't, you know, get more players, right? They can't, you know, significantly increase the player numbers. But, you know, I mean, is what it is, right? But, I don't know, if they really want to increase revenue, I think the way to do it would be, you know, trying to offer better value through the microtransactions because, you know, I mean, I would spend more money if they offered better deals, you know? If you start trying to make a game for everyone, it'll be a game for no one, and that's the thing. And at least right now, it definitely seems like Nexon isn't willing to compromise on their vision to get more players. I don't blame them. They can't vet everyone, and the people making the promoting deals likely don't understand care unless the customers vocally state their problems. Yeah, that's another part of it. Love BA's gameplay loop of making sure auto and 3 times speed is on. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Blue Archive's gameplay is fun for what it is, but I mean, it's definitely not what keeps people around. And but I mean, look, the issue with bringing in these kinds of people is that, like, okay, maybe we'll bring in, you know, like the other one with Giguk and Connor, Iron Mouse. You know, the idea, I'm sure, is, oh, we'll bring in these normie streamers to get more players. You know, but the issue is that you're not really getting good players, you know? You're not really advertising to people who would, you know, actually start playing the game because they're mostly, you know, normie audiences. And also with Blue Archive, a big issue, well, one of the main appeals of Blue Archive isn't even the game itself, it's actually the community around it. And if you intentionally bring in a bunch of tourists, you know, they're going to poison the community and you're going to end up losing real fans. You know, I mean, I'll give this as an example. Like, one of the reasons why I never tried out Uma Musume was because of how toxic the community is. And, you know, maybe I'll still try it one day, but it's like, you know, I don't want to play that shit, right? And, you know, if you had something with Blue Archive where it just became totally tourist infested, you'd have something similar. So, and I mean, look, these tourists, they're usually not the ones spending money or actually buying the merch or whatever, or supporting the game. Limited furniture from the SMeek and Biarsu definitely got me to get the battle passes. And now that shit's just underhanded, though, man. I mean, come on. But, you know, is what it is. Anyways, is there any... I think I had some other clips of this guy. I think most of them I played. Oh, yeah, this was funny. Alright. So, chat, police emote is disabled for the time being. It'll be enabled after the BA-sponsored end. After the BA sponsor ends. Okay, so, he literally had to ban the police emoji. Alright, because his tourist fucking fans would just spam it. Probably won't bring in new players, but Nexon could always go harder on the Sensei Students fan service since it never goes beyond a couple of comments by Sensei. That would actually be a good way to, you know, sort of drive revenue and get more hype, I think. Wish BA would just advertise the game with the VTubers they recently did collabs with. I don't understand why bring outsiders. I don't know. The thing with a lot of these VTubers is that, you know, there's already a lot of audience overlap. You know, they want new players. They don't necessarily want to keep their current players happy. I definitely do think it would be a better strategy just to use, like, random VTubers, you know, rather than just pay normie streamers. That would be a better option, but, you know, I guess these guys don't want to do all that market research. Fuck, yeah, it's the same one. Oh my god. We deserve an apology and to know why the fuck were our paid pyroxenes invested on this parasite instead of more acute VTubers or people that actually play the game. Shit. So, here's some other ones. Here's the chat in response to the Blue Archive stream. They're spamming the police emoji, pedos, all gotchas, slop, more police emojis, BA end of service. Fuck. All on the watch list now. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm so glad this is the guy they decided to bring on. So yeah, fuck. You know, fuck it. I'll... Oh yeah, they put this on a different one actually, but... Have they tried going after Peepa? I mean, I guess they could, but honestly, Peepa, people don't really like... I don't know, Peepa was kind of in some hot water recently. I'm not sure if it would really matter. But, I mean, I guess Peepa would be fine. Yeah, some boring jokes from these people. Man, tourists have been spamming the FBI open up meme for fucking as long as they've, you know, pretended to like anime. Oh, this is the same Nagisa clip. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, speaking of Uma Musume... You have been warned in the Uma Musume Pretty Derby server Rule 2. Don't refer to Uma Musume as wives, as they are all depicted as being underage. Please do not discuss this warning in the server as it is a violation of Rule 11. Man. Oh man, I just love Uma, fuck. I'm assuming this is this the official server? Jeez. Well look, this is what happens when, This is what happens when your game gets completely overtaken by tourists. FBI Open Up used to be nothing more than a meme mostly. The newer audience took it seriously. Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, all this stuff was ironic at first, you know? It's against the rules to discuss the rules. It literally is. This is actual, like, dictatorship stuff. Official server, I thought it was just the biggest fan server. It might be. It might, but even if it is the biggest fan server... Look, at least the Uma Musume official server could make an excuse that they don't want any kind of, you know, anything even vaguely NSFW, but, I mean, if it's a fan server, then that means all the fans are doing this shit, so that's even more fucked. Yeah, but, fuck. Anyways, let's see. Planning to play Uma again because I didn't have any storage left on my phone, but the fans are really rubbing it in. I mean, exactly, right? I mean, look, it's fine to, you know, enjoy a game and never interact with the community. But, you know, I definitely think for gotchas, at least, I mean, for Blue Archive especially, the community is a big part of the draw. So if it became toxic, I still would play the game, but you know, definitely would lose a bit of the magic. Troons will take 1 gram of power and inject it into their arteries, and so my Discord is a cancer waste of time. Yeah, you can say that again. Other people, they Discord fan community servers are lame as fuck and let the smallest amount of power go to their heads. It's always what happens. Like, I swear. That's why I hate... That's honestly why I hate Discord. Anyways. I was thinking... Oh, also, I just noticed this. They have a fucking AI search on fucking YouTube. This is such bullshit, man. The YouTube search feature already sucked, but now they have a fucking AI search just automatically built in. What the hell? And what the fuck is this? Manga's Predator problem? Are we gonna have to watch that one too? I don't know. I mentioned this before, but there's only like 2. I think there's only like 2 or 3 mangakas who have been caught doing, you know, grooming type stuff. But anyway, let's check out this. Subjecting myself to the horrors of the Blue Archive fandom. And this is by Pika9000X, and he has a Five Nights at Freddy's profile picture, by the way. Not just a Five Nights at Freddy's profile picture, a shitty one made in fucking MS Paint. Yeah, he does have no fucking shirt on. What the hell? Anyways, though, let's check this out. Billions must AI search. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Many of you probably know the game Blue Archive. I barely know anything about the game. All I know is that there's like a lot of underage girls.
Oh, fuck.
In this game, it's really bad. Like, there's only 3 18-year-olds. I was looking at this earlier.
Only 3 18-year-olds. Shit.
Only 3 18-year-olds. And there's...
Bro.
And the fans are weird. So...
Oh, the fans are weird. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. This guy's playing Fear and Hunger. Project Moon fan, I should have known. Yeah, every fucking time, right? So is every FNAF animatronic base devs, yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna go through the suspicious people of Blue Archive fans.
The suspicious people.
So right off the bat, this game, I don't know, I don't like how young they look.
I don't like how young they look, bro. They look like fucking anime characters. Honestly, a lot of them look way older than they actually are, like Kana or Rin. Or yeah, but
they should be in school.
Or I guess
not doing that shit.
What?
How young they look. They should be in school, not doing that shit.
Bro, you're never gonna believe this.
I don't know why it's similar to
380 hours on fucking Limbus Company? Jesus. It's every fucking time, man. I don't like how young they look. They're underage.
Limbus Company, get that shit off of Limbus Company immediately, please. Why do they look... Okay, that's probably the chibi little thingies, whatever the hell.
They should be in school.
New discussions.
Man, you know, at least the Steam discussions page for BA is pretty based.
Huh?
Oh, hell yeah. Sensei, don't forget to give your student wife some action and clear world raids with her. Hell yeah. Rule 74, all underage characters must be drawn in school. Why is this guy acting like he's uncovering Jeffrey's documents? Man, that's how he feels in his mind.
Wife? Who's a... I don't know. I don't know a thing about this game.
Bro, if you're gonna make a video reacting to weird stuff, at least bookmark the weird stuff first.
The Annie is kind of bad. Oh, no, okay.
It's kind of funny, because I think the only actual sus one on the first page is, Wait, no, this is the second page. And nothing here is even that weird.
Oh, I'm looking guides. Is it? This is
Yo, dude has to search. He's all like, the Blue Archive fandom is horrific. You can't even find any weird shit. Why does Blue Archive sponsor these tours if they don't like it? Yeah, this is how I imagine a normie reacts when they stumble onto this on stream. Yeah, this guy isn't cut out to make vids, no kidding. I love those explicit say they love Ibuki. Trying very hard to form an original opinion. Corpo's too dumb to screen people. This guy isn't one of the streamers that BA hired. Real ace detective here.
what the fuck?
Okay, he found it. Oh my god! At least read some of it! This is the worst content ever, man. Okay, I'm not even mad about the Blue Archive slander. This is just a dog shit video. Just remember the next time an auntie is freaking out at you, it's basically this person every fucking time. This is the guy who calls you a pedo for liking Blue Archive. Yeah. Man. Who is Ibuki? Or more importantly, what is Ibuki? To the racist gorillas at Trinity, Ibuki is simply another filthy Gehenna like the rest of her demonic ilk, if not the most reprehensible of them all due to her true blood demonic lineage. Hell yeah. Man, wise. Did Pearl just refer to Ibuki? Our fictional wife is an individual? They always talk about the characters like they're real. It's so funny. I have 50 hours on it. Basically, majority of the comments are literally coded words like BNet. Well, yeah.
Hold on. No, you're lying.
Wow. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck? He has a Patrick plushie in the background and a 1-Up plushie? What the hell?
That's bad. Oh my god, that's bad.
Okay, whatever.
Oh my god, that's bad.
In order to save Ibuki's innocence, you must fill her oven with mayo before she is even capable of cooking her first egg. A portal to her demon realm must be plugged with mayo at all times, so that her first egg will be filled the instant it is laid. Side effects include mayo leakage every minute instead of ketchup leakage every month, but it is far preferable to the painful cramps and unstable mood swings that comes with the latter. Okay. Shit. People like this make me hope the Plum Blossom Garden students would become playable and get the most fan service just to see how much they'll lose their minds. Yo, that would be so Kino. What are these reactions, bro? FNAF in the background, bro got groomed as a kid. Non-zero chance. The Patrick plushie has more brain cells than he does. Reading this. Man, hell yeah.
Why is everyone approving of this? I don't... No. Student? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Why am I looking at this shit?
Good question.
Tendo? Who's... Please, bro.
Oh, he's got to check the age first.
Or something. No age? That's still bad.
Okay, bro, why do you put white text over a white background? She looks like... Oh my god, I can't even read
Don't know
that.
her age.
I really love how we as a community are creative to create a whole plot just to say we want to spend time with our wives. Yeah. Bro, no way, bro. This is crazy. Come on, bro. There was already an... Whatever.
Is not the crime to... Teacher and student?
Hell yeah, Giga-based.
But, okay.
You didn't even read it! Okay, I guess I'll have to read it. Why? This guy sucks. This is some dog shit content. Or actually, wait. Is this just a meme? Much less menacing than the actual Oblivion guards. I guess it's just a, whatever. Why does he have an ageless checker open? Because he's got to make sure. It's actually so dumb, because he knows that only 3 of the characters are 18. So, I don't even know why it matters. But skipped over the real BA tier list, which is exactly what I assumed it to be. If the pixels said 18 next to them, then it would be okay. These people are AI. Nah, they would still say he looks too young. Yeah, though. Yeah, exactly.
But, okay. What's a student?
Did he just ask what a student is? I've seen more good points made by tourists than the amount of seconds in this video showing the bad side of it. Yeah, this is so bad.
What's a student? Oh, you're lying.
What do you mean they're lying? Do you not know what this game is fucking about?
No, bro. No. Okay, that's... No. You could... No. No.
Wow, maybe he didn't go to school. It would explain a lot.
No. Oh, that's what they mean by student wife.
What the fuck did you think they meant by student wife? What else would it mean? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't want to look at this shit anymore. Oh my god.
It's funny because most of it is still pretty milk, like just standard shit. Is there even anything weird on this one? That one's about the battle pass. Yeah. His role reaction is literally just the movement of his mouth and the sounds. Doesn't seem to be a functioning brain. No, it can't be. I don't believe this. No way. Why does he sound like he's ODing on fluoride?
Okay, it's just talking about just some shit. It looks like.
Bro hasn't even seen anything. I can't even look anymore. Like, holy, this is the, you know, this stuff is pretty milquetoast, let's be real here.
I don't see. Why does the community hate Yuri so much?
Oh, I don't see.
They love kids. Ask that.
You're lying, bro. No way, no. This guy is acting like one of those scripted haunted house YouTube videos.
Question said, man.
He's on page 10, by the way, and he's found like 2 posts that were suspect. Guy sees 5 barely weird comments and slaps the pedo label on everyone playing BA. You know, that's the thing. Couldn't this guy at least go to Twitter and find some of the cunny posting? I mean, seriously. Dude definitely fell on the front, back, and both sides of his head while he was still developing. Shit. Yeah, also, I'm fairly certain his mom drank while she was pregnant with him. Kind of ancient scroll did you guys use to find this fuck-ass video? I forget where I found it. Not gonna lie, Caveman could have made a better commentary than this guy. But if this game was about middle school girl Yuri, he wouldn't make any complaints. Oh yeah, no fucking way.
There's bunny girl skins. Who's Karen? What? Meru. 16.
When did Meru have a bunny skin? What the hell? How I have not heard about this, man. Is Meru getting a bunny outfit? Wow, she's 16. He does that as if he doesn't fucking know what it already is.
And they're wearing
yeah, the Yuri fatigue telling me about it.
Suits.
I don't know why he's doing it! Bro, we know they're fucking underage! Holy shit! Meru bunny girl skin is so big.
I don't want to look at this. We have to. That piqued my...
Doesn't Meru already have one? I didn't think she did. I'll have to check later, I guess.
How old is she? I don't know.
Yo, she does? Hell yeah.
Oh, that looks really weird. 16. They're all 16. What the fuck?
It's almost like the game has a high school setting or something. Crazy. You know, it's so funny. You could make this video about, you know, so many fucking anime games and shit. Oh, Naru. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Naru's the one with the bunny skin. I guess whoever made the original post was misspelling it. How can we tell this guy that most anime characters are underage? That's the thing. You could make this video about basically every anime ever. If the number was bigger, would he feel better? I guess.
Who's wearing a blue arc? Okay. Let's look at this real quick.
Okay, finally he's got Twitter. Okay? Hopefully we can get some real content.
Specifically this account. I want to look
Oh,
at.
hell yeah. Let's see.
Hopefully she's 18, man. That's all.
Hopefully she's 18.
I gotta say.
Holy shit. Oh, hell yeah. Fuck. The guy asking for the sword. He could have just booted up, not gonna lie. He's talking about the actual game so little you could paste this reaction over any anime and get the same effect. Yeah, you could actually. Cherry picking everything. Fuck. Oh, come on! Ah! Oh, here we go. We got the Kino.
Bow Bow. Did you? Is that their original career? Let's look at their animation.
Man. Numbers are magical incantations of this dude. It's all fucking bullshit anyway. This reminds me of the fucking of Ever 17. How Sora is both 20 and 5. If it's not 16, it should be 500. Anything in between is for cowards, excluding Kyoko. Yeah, that's right. Why is he acting so clueless? He just saw Rove's age is 16. Whatever to get the reaction, I guess. He's not even really playing it up well, so it's dumb anyway. Internet Anarchist has better commentary, bro. Fuck. Anybody would.
There's nothing.
What the fuck's he typing in Bow Bow for? Did I miss something?
Look at who's Bow Bow. Did you? Is that the
Oh, I guess that's
creator?
the creator
Let's
of
look
the
at their
animation.
Animations. Is this it?
Okay, he has to find the original source, apparently. If insert character was 500, they could use old but looks young argument.
Oh, what a ring. This guy definitely owns a ring. If you know what I mean.
I've never seen such a forced reaction. I guess the rent is low, but damn, this guy's not even monetized, because I don't even think he has 1,000 subs.
I bet you half of these characters are under the age of 18.
You know they're all fucking under the age of 18, because you brought up the fucking list and there was 3 who were.
Under the age of 16, probably. That's definitely not a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old. Oh my...
Not even a human, but...
God. I'm disgusted. I'm...
Oh my fucking god. This guy literally despises the anime community. Fuck, no kidding. And he's a furry, by the way. Always, how come that's always the case? Okay, you know, this guy's like, this is so disgusting. He's a fan of Minecraft, Limbus Company, and Five Nights at Freddy's, which are like the top 3 groomer games. What's the point of liking anime if he despises everything about it? I like my BA girls like I like my bread, fresh out of the oven. I'm disgusted, but I must keep scrolling. What's with furry purists? I think they're just trying to deflect the heat away from them, even though people don't really tear into furries these days. You know, and a lot of it's probably projection, because furries are kind of fucked. Just find Internet Historian's Rainforest video. Probably a Roblox dev. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, hell yeah. Now, this animation's pure Kino. Why'd he mute it? Oh, I guess he didn't. There's just no audio. So she's waving the whip even though she's like 20 feet away. Man. Miner's gonna mine. Finds out characters are underage yet proceeds to look for more artwork. Furry. They could be months old. What if they're androids? In a sense, being the husband of an underrated student must be a blessing. Yeah. Making fun of furries hasn't been a thing people do since 2016. Exactly, you know? As people go to a restaurant and complain about food on someone else's plate. Yeah. Brutal. Wow, Haitian slave revolt colorized. Literally 1987.
I'm looking for today.
You know, the funny thing is that the slave owner Momoi is the one who presumably dies, and then the black Momoi escapes, so...
I think I understand why this game has its reputation now.
It's like watching a caveman discover fire.
What I will tell you is, I got some news. I'm making a video on this manga. I know, you've probably seen like...
It's making a video on a manga? Jujika no Rokunin. Okay, is this Kino?
Showing the videos of these.
Throughout 6th grade, Shun Uruma was dubbed Experiment A by 5 of his classmates and subjected to constant torture despite holding some... Oh my god, bro. Who cares, bro? How many views did this guy have? Understand now why the game has this reputation. Not even one dojin. What a shame. It says 715 views. Anyway, let's see.
I'm just gonna go rant over it.
So now he's complaining about a manga. A shonen manga, apparently, so how bad really could it be?
I'm on a 39th chapter right now. I'm just gonna end it, bro.
Still uses an anime gif for the outro. What the fuck? I read that it's just some edgy, gory fighting manga that people lose their minds over for being more violent than DBZ. Oh my fucking god. These people are so fucking annoying, I swear to god. Anyway, let me open up that, actually. Fucking Five Nights at Freddy's fan and Limbus Company fan, by the way. I should go leave a dislike, not even for his take, but the production quality and his terrible commentary. That's the thing, it was just such a terrible video. Like, genuinely. At least make it more entertaining. I had to carry that segment hard. They actually got interested on the manga, I might put it on my list. Man, well, this is the whole thing, you know, people bitching about a gory manga. This is the thing people bring up about, like, okay, like, if lollies are problematic, then violent video games and gore is problematic. I mean, see, you can watch the slippery slope happen in real fucking time. Anyway. Holy shit, he is a fucking Roblox player. He's playing a fucking FNAF Roblox game. What the hell? Also, I guess he has a friend who uses Saya from Song of Saya as their avatar. Is this guy fucking for real? Wait. Oh, he's playing Song of Saya? Oh, I guess they were just playing the game. Oh, most disturbing visual novel of all time. Okay. This shit is so ass, man. What the hell? And yeah, he does play fucking Roblox, of course. Yeah, but Blue Archive... The actual fucking Roblox player is saying Blue Archive fans are the problem. Okay, give me a fucking break. What? Nah, this guy cannot just put Supro in the thumbnail with the show because he has lolly characters. Wasn't that outro a frame of School Days? My memory is forgoing. They hate fan service, will never make anything better than what they criticize. Yeah, Roblox called shit. I mean, I would cover more... I mean, all this stuff sucks. Oh, wait. Oh, I guess he responded to people calling him out on the video. Okay, let's watch this.
Hey guys.
Yeah, this is how I found out about it from this Heisei guy. This video randomly came to my recommended, and bro is already losing his mind about the character's ages. Truly top 10 tourism. Okay, this guy's too loud.
I'm not gonna show the tweet yet.
Ron ironically talks to more kids on Roblox than I did when I was in school. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but we're the... Yeah, fuck.
I did not want to make a part 2 on this video.
I did not want to make a... Well, at least he's wearing a shirt this fucking time. Roblox has infinite times more grooming and problems than Blue Archive. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's the thing. You know? You can judge a tree by its fruits, okay? And the fucking fruits of Roblox are rotten. He's gonna pull an article. I'm definitely getting that new Stellar Blade. Gotta support Peak, and Eevee is the most beautiful 3D I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for the new Stellar Blade, too. Especially, I think the gameplay was really solid. If they refine the gameplay a bit and put in, a better story with some... if they fix the issues of the first game, we could get something really special for sure. And, Shift Up is definitely capable of it because, their work on Nikkei is great.
So
only article he's pulling is Reddit.
It appears there was a tweet made by me. I've known about this for a week. I didn't really care about it until now because I thought, wait, I can just clip farm this shit.
I could clip farm this shit. He's got 40 views on this video in 2 days.
Views maybe. I don't know. Who cares? So let me just get something straight.
We should maybe speed this one up a bit.
I'm only talking about the bad side of the community, okay? Because I had somebody, the person who actually told me.
Only talking about the bad side.
About this tweet. They're a Blue Archive fan. They're pretty normal, I guess, right? And they were saying, whatever the hell, Lolicons decided to join, and that's why it has such a bad reputation.
Oh yeah, the Lolicons just decided to join Blue Archive. It's not like the game specifically catered towards them. I know he's a Roblox player, but he has it open at that moment, does he? Fuck. Clip farm? As not getting anything but secondhand embarrassment. Clip famine. Fuck.
I'm not saying the fandom's good, or I don't know, whatever. I'm neutral on it. I'm just looking at the bad side of the fandom, okay? And I don't agree with the bad side.
The only people watching him is his plushie.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now, but I hope it makes sense, somewhat. But I'm gonna keep this short. We're gonna look at the tweet. So the tweet reads, "This video randomly came to my recommended, and bro is already losing his mind about the characters' ages.
Man.
Truly top 10 tourism.
Historical revisionism level legendary."
Okay. Alright. Right off the bat, how many likes? Okay, they just show my entire channel. I don't think I only talk about the ages. Oh, no, I don't only talk about the ages. I lose my mind on, like, some inappropriate stuff, because I remember...
It's like 90% the fuck complaining about the ages. Bad side, that's literally the whole thing. He says understands why the game is problematic, doesn't give any actual criticism, all he does is gasp here and there. Chill out, Eminem. Sound like this guy in editing software, he just records and puts it in YouTube and doesn't have the commentary skills to make up for it. I mean, exactly. W. Momoe censor on the face cam, at least it's more tolerable with it covered. Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. I have Momoe covering him. I forgot I had them up. Man, checks tabs 4 and 7. Yeah, he does have fucking Roblox up. What the hell? Man, and Discord, of course. Or yeah, Roblox there, and he's got Discord open. Well, he's not directly talking about the ages. He's complaining about people lusting for the characters because they're underage. Yeah.
He wants to fill up the characters with special mayo before they can have their first egg. Before I look at the comics, actually, I have no idea how to look at the tweets, the retweets.
Wow, welcome back, Blue Turtle, watching the Arms Dealer anime. Nice.
Whatever, fuck it. Wait, actually, how do I look at the retweets? Oh, view quotes.
Yo, with the Shoda? Hell yeah.
Oh, they removed it. Okay, but I saw one saying, like, bro is secretly a lolicon.
Wouldn't be surprised. Look, he's probably a furry, and let's be real here, a lot of these furries are into cubs, as they call it.
No. Do you have any evidence for that? I'm not a lolicon. Okay? I'm not. I just get this straight. I have a girlfriend, okay?
Oh, I'm sure. She goes to another school, right?
Probably, some of these people saying that shit, they probably don't have one. And also, this goes with another one saying,
Secretly a Shotokan unironic. Fuck.
Somebody edit this guy with the she's only 16 image. I'm 17 years old.
Holy fucking shit. Okay, then why don't you just what's up with all these fucking minors on the internet trying to police, trying to police what adults say? Like, what the hell?
That's like legal, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Dude, like, I kind of almost lost my mind at that because that was so dumb. Like, why? What's wrong with you, dude? Do some research first, man. I'm not like, what, do I look 20 years old? Does my room look like I'm a 20-year-old? No.
Okay, well, your room sure as fuck doesn't look like you're a 17-year-old, okay? I don't mean to shame anybody, but 17 is kind of old to have a fucking Minecraft and a Five Nights at Freddy's poster, as well as a fucking Patrick Star plushie on your bed. Do you sleep with that thing or something? Fuck. And a Spider-Man thing, whatever the fuck that is? Give me a break. How can 40 people stand to watch this guy? No kidding.
It does not. It does not. Like, dude, no. If I was like 20 years old, I probably wouldn't live with my parents still, dude. Like, come on, fucking weirdo. Anyways.
As if we're supposed to know your age and your living status. All we know is you're some retard on the internet. We honestly don't even really give a fuck. I have a Miku poster and a pet turtle in my room. Hell yeah. Okay, now that's a real man's room. That's the second tab. Who fucking knows? Jormugong? I guess I'll look into that. He reads a manga with 16-year-olds and under high schoolers. Patrick is his persona.
Let's look at the replies. We got 11 replies. Oh, I don't want to expose you, man, but you've got some really bad stuff retweeted.
Bad stuff retweeted?
Which is, lolly.
Oh, it's the arms dealer Shota. Interesting.
Icon behavior. Don't witch hunt this guy. Don't hate him. I'm not saying to hate him. Okay? I'm just saying, like, you're really not helping it.
Look, nobody cares, bro.
Don't spread hate to this guy. Or I probably will get, like, more Blue Archive fans anyways, I don't care. You can hate on me, don't hate on this guy. Okay? Whatever. Who cares? Subjecting myself. Me shaking my head to the show. I would never support this kind of content while watching through it. Gotta be performative and show he hates the icky stuff on camera. Performative? Do you know what that word means? Let's search up performative.
What the fuck is this? Oh, he was blocking out. So he does have editing software. He just doesn't use it because he was blocking out his home screen. And look, honestly, a lot of this tourist pearl clutching is performative, okay? And honestly, in some ways, it'd be worse if it wasn't, but... Probably Peppa Pig plushie until he was 12. Don't spread hate to this guy. Everyone's saying that to his 10 viewers. Yeah, this video has fucking 40 views, by the way. More people are in this stream than actually watched his video. Epic Games Launcher.
Okay, maybe you're a little bit, I guess. But,
my friend... Oh, wait, so he looks up the definition, then he's like, okay, maybe you're right.
I want to have a straight face to, yet again, somebody saying they want to put mayo into someone before they're going to have, like, their first egg. You want me to just be like... You want to have, like, a poker face or something? Like, come on, dude. There's a good chance, statistically, that this guy will either continue to play in private and never mentioning it publicly again, or loudly complain about it for years while adamantly refusing to stop playing it and making excuses for why. Both cases created closeted lolicons.
Oh my god, in like 2 weeks, he put like 40 hours onto Limbus Company. Or in like 10 days, actually, I think. Or what, I don't know, was it? Or was it only like a week ago that the video came out?
On November...
Oh wait, no, we'll watch that later. Okay, so in like 10 days, he puts 40 hours into fucking Limbus Company. Jeez. DSP gets more views. Of course, he's the kind of dweeb that uses Google definitions as an argument. This guy, it's actually making me laugh, ironically. Where is the editing? Yeah, no kidding.
I'll show you my phone too. Here, you know what? I'm gonna show you my phone.
You know, honestly, him going so hard to be like, I don't play Blue Archive, I don't play Blue Archive is kind of suspect. I don't think he actually plays BA, but he's getting pretty defensive. The Momoe makes this extremely funny.
Archive. I type Blue. There's no Blue Archive. I've never touched this game in my life. Like what I said in the last video. Never.
And keep in mind, you don't have to play Blue Archive to be a lolicon, right?
Touch the game. You know, probably the gameplay's alright. I mean, well, whatever. Probably the the gameplay's good. Whatever. Story's good. Probably. You know. I guess I am a tourist. Who cares, dude? I'm not gonna fucking. The only argument people have against me is that I'm a tourist. Okay, I want to say tourism. I want to stay being a tourist. Okay.
You know, he says that, but it's not even like he's not like he presented an argument. He just showed a bunch of stuff and was like, oh my god, I can't believe this. So, I mean, and the only thing anyone can really do is just make fun of you.
The fuck's wrong with that? I'm just looking, dude.
I proudly became a lolicon after playing BA, hell yeah.
Bro is a real life Shimo Koharu.
Is he gonna check her age?
Okay, it's just a character in the game, whatever.
Who the fuck did you think it was? He said real life X. Obviously the character was gonna be obviously the character was gonna be real. He says that with the close incognito notif on the phone's top. Fuck. Just low-key don't harass and try to spread your ideas on it, then just enjoy it, bro, yeah?
I can already imagine what type of memes will be used, which is mad funny because so far I've seen so many cute Ray Suck fan art recently.
The thing is that, you know, Lazy had very high expectations. There weren't even any good memes.
Gotta thank those memes for serving as cover for the Ray Suck fan art. What type of memes? What type of memes? There's no memes in my video.
He's trying to become a lolcow. He's not entertaining enough to be a lolcow.
Which much uglier things like NRT shit, BCL or fan art where students literally have their throats.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, I mean, with Blue Archive, that stuff isn't really as common, I don't think. But you know, obviously, if we're looking at anime as a whole, there's obviously a lot worse stuff than like a fucking 16-year-old dating a 24-year-old or whatever the fuck, right? Man, tourist maxing. Like, he actually believes he can change people's mind doing this shit. I mean, the whole thing is why he's even making the video, right? This is what AI has done to the education system. He looks like the burger meme.
Okay, I did not know about that. Dude, I was just like tapping. I don't think I can show that. I'm gonna have to censor all of that, I'm not gonna lie.
Censor what? The text? Bro, who gives a fuck? You have 400 subs. If you got banned, nobody would care.
That's fucking weird. SpongeBob roller coaster gif.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that a FNAF PFP? That's right.
Well, in terms of the iceberg, that'll be that. But what this guy's saying, I don't know. Is that a FNAF PFP? Yes, it is an MS Paint one. Actually, it's from Springtrap and Mangle. Specifically, I think episode 2, where Springtrap's reading a newspaper.
What the fuck is Springtrap and Mangle? Is that some kind? Is that a fucking webcomic? Okay, taking your profile picture from a Five Nights at Freddy's webcomic is way more gay than just having an MS Paint one. Holy shit, this guy, there's no way he's real.
This guy's closeted as fuck. I just know it. How am I closeted? Can you give me,
He is a furry, so.
evidence? Just not blatant lies, please. Thank you.
He goes to an elementary school. Why is he explaining FNAF fan comic lore? I mean, it just makes it look worse. It's so
Subjecting
stupid.
myself, someone is interested. Yeah, I'm interested because I've heard
Oh, he's interested.
a lot of bad stuff about it, and it piqued my interest to see how bad this community is. I'm not gonna fucking play this shit. I'm not gonna endorse in anything, okay? Like, what? Closeted again with the Do you have any evidence? How many awful FBI gifts were put in that video? My guess is 10.
Yo, wait till this guy gets, like, caught, like, you know, whatever. Wait till this guy gets caught cranking it to, like, Rebecca or Tatsumaki, at least, and he pulls out the petite cope. Or Megumin. He pulls out the petite cope. He pulls out the I'm 17 cope. What does this have to do with the video's topic? Is like some MatPat theory type shit.
Do you think I'm 30 years old?
So defensive, he sounds suspicious as hell. That's the whole thing, you know? I mean, I kind of get it, but, I mean, it is a little suspect.
That's like...
How many FBI gifts were put in the video? My guess is 10. If only there wasn't even any editing. These guys had high expectations.
Something somebody would do in 2016. I'd say something, but I have to keep here.
What do you... People still do that now. We were just reacting to that shit last stream of people putting FBI gifts over lolly stuff.
Appearance is up. Who are you?
Oh, yeah, he uses his Five Nights at Freddy's recolored OC. My God. As the censor image. This guy is fucking crazy. If you're fucking 17, you shouldn't be recoloring Five Nights at Freddy's renders to make OCs, okay? When I was 17, I was making a completely original video game, alright? I was not making these fucking OC don't steal shit. Doesn't take much to rage bait this guy. Yeah, no kidding. Ask him why he's not against FNAF showing children's deaths, and I shall bet my soul that he'll use either it's fiction fake or no real person is harmed, or he could say that it's the villain doing it as if it actually matters. What the fuck? Who the hell is Withered Zach? It's his original OC Don't Steal.
And I bet you all these people have some weird shit reposted.
Yeah!
I'm not accusing them of reposting weird shit. Okay? It's just from, you know, I've clicked on some of these profiles.
Yo, why don't you show us the weird shit? Give us some content, man! Come on!
And they have, like...
This is so freaking cringe. Yeah, this is going in my cringe compilation.
Okay, it's a little... I don't know how to say it. It's... I would say it's iOS 12 and below doing some really,
What the fuck is iOS 12? Withered Zach, this guy isn't real. Something I'd really expect from 2017.
bad
Bro.
stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, and I had to feast my eyes on that. I wish I
Definitely listen to the Hello Neighbor Get Out song.
can unsee it, but I sadly cannot. And for those who are accusing me of being a lolicon, I don't know why I put quotation marks. Just say you don't have any other argument, dude. I'm just looking. Like, it baffles me. How the fuck did I do this? By just looking. And I'm
Look, okay, children shouldn't meddle in the business of adults.
sure there's good fans.
It's bad stuff doesn't clarify.
But like, come on, dude. This is bad. That's all I gotta say. Like, I just wanted to look at this one tweet. I'm probably gonna get like a bunch of people swarming my comments again.
Yo, he's gotta bask in the five.
I don't care.
Oh, bring it on! Yo, you wish, bro.
Whatever. Who cares? That's all I...
As if he made any real statement in his previous video. That's the thing. Okay, he basically just, he soy jacks, okay, and then that's kind of it.
Gotta say goodbye.
Okay, what the fuck is that JFK with Foxy? Yo, no way this guy thought that was tough. Are you kidding? What the hell? Anyway, I gotta hit it with the dislike. Yeah, this shit has 40 views. Oh my god. We gotta get Gideon on these fans. Yeah, so... Bro wishes, but honestly, don't even hate watch this. It's so... This guy's so boring. But, I don't know, we'll see. Fuck. Has he made any real statement? This shit ain't tough, MF. Yeah, so that's his channel. His community posts. He has 8 votes on his community poll. Oh my god. Bro. Yeah, Limbus Company fan. Fuck. What the hell? Bro. Bro, come on. Okay, just delete your channel. This is look, this is embarrassing, okay? I don't think you're ever going to mature, okay, mentally past 12. But on the off chance you do, you're going to look back at this with some extreme... You're going to look back on this with extreme cringe. So, okay, so just delete this, okay? Look, alright, I'm fine with some amnesty, okay? These days the GF doesn't go to a different school, but goes to a different country. Yo, that's why he had Discord open. Only time I've ever seen a real PDF in Gacha Space is they were Olympus Company players, all I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's about enough from that guy. I don't know. What else was I even going to do? I don't know. We could watch this one. Let's see. People in the anime industry of criminal convictions and how they were snuck back in. I don't know. Maybe we'll watch that. Actually, I don't really care that much about that, actually. I'm sure there's a couple cases, but... I mean, I'm sure he's going to, you know, greatly exaggerate it, as these guys often do. But, you know, let's go with this one. So this is the video. This one was going around a bit. But this one's about grooming, apparently. It's from Audi Zay.
Raise a child only to date them later, that's grooming. Let's talk about it. I saw a video saying they hate the trope when a character is raising their future romantic partner. Now, if you don't know, these are the kind of stories where a traditionally male character ends up taking care of, training, or teaching a younger female character that would later become their love interest.
Yeah, so, let's see here.
If you raise a child only to date them later, that's grooming.
Look, people don't even fucking know what grooming is, okay? But we'll continue. Alright.
Would later become their love interest. So, grooming.
Actually, it really isn't grooming, okay? Grooming is when you raise, or I guess train someone specifically for them to be, like, a sexual partner, okay? In the examples he's giving, like Shield Hero, now Fumi didn't have any lewd or ill intentions with Raphtalia, okay? He raised her, I mean, I say raised, I mean, she went from, like, a 10-year-old to a fucking grown woman in, like, a month, so it's kind of a really weird situation. But it's Raphtalia who fell for him.
Shows like Rise of the Shield Hero have been criticized for their depiction of this medium. In the story, the protagonist buys a child slave. He would later spend her formative years teaching her basic skills.
Formative years? I don't even think a year passed before the first wave when Raphtalia is all grown up. Okay? I think there's like 3 episodes before Raphtalia is a full-grown adult. To be fair, I don't like the trope in Shield Hero, but definitely not grooming, yeah. I mean, I actually really like it as a trope, but it's not grooming.
As you would a parent to a child. Once she becomes older, they would later have a romantic relationship.
And honestly, now Fumi and Raphtalia never really was parent and kid anyway. And also, I think even now, they don't even have a romantic relationship in the show, maybe in the light novel. I mean, they maybe kiss at the end of season 1, but that's it. She hit a crazy spurt. I was so surprised and disappointed, yeah. You know, when I first... Yeah, it's crazy, but... Is there a gas leak or something? What's wrong with people?
Shows like Mashoko Tensei have also been criticized for this medium as well, in which the protagonist is cognitively an adult, but despite that, the protagonist still chose to grow alongside with a character that was a child, and later become romantically involved with them.
Okay, how is that fucking grooming? Excuse me? I like that funny time that all the seasonal shows were Raising My Daughter coded. Yeah, no kidding. Man, you know, Uchi Musume is, you know, total peak, and the light novel is even better.
He didn't
Roxy, best girl, hell yeah.
Explicitly raise her. He was in a position of power because he was cognitively way older than she was.
Position of power! Because... Oh, this is so fucking dumb. Yeah, I'm a hood weeb.
That coupled with the fact she had no idea of his prior experiences of life. Yet, as soon as she's old enough, there goes the main character, ripe for the picking.
Oh my god.
The problematic nature of this trope generally stems from the fact that these kind of characters are in a position of power, higher understanding, or authority. They essentially become romantically involved with people that are either students to them, children to them, or siblings to them.
Oh my god. This guy doesn't know anything about these animes. Yeah, no kidding.
trope generally stems from the fact that these kind of characters are in a position of power.
Position of power. This is what's so retarded about all these leftists. They can't even let it go for fiction, okay? Because, the whole thing is that they're obsessed with power, And, any kind of power imbalance, that's wrong. There's no such thing as someone using their power for the right reasons, except them. They, of course, always would use their power for the right reasons. Fuck, man. See, Izzy's new video? No. But
Higher understanding or authority. They essentially become romantically involved with people that are either students to them, children to them, or siblings to them. Good thing that never happened.
Children to them, defined child. Game of Thrones is fine, yeah, of course.
Happens in American media. Oh, fuck my life.
And I don't know jack shit about Batman, so I can't really critique this part.
Killing Joke storyline, there is a controversial scene in which Batgirl and Batman had romantic intimacy on a roof. This scene is controversial because not only is Batman a mentor figure to Barbara, but he's also good friends with Commissioner Gordon.
Fuck. So, it doesn't matter that they're two adults, one of them's a mentor, and it's heckin' problematic. Keep in mind, this is all fiction, by the way. You could say that IRL, it's a bit morally dubious, okay? But this is fiction, by the way. Who gives a shit? Alright, I mean, keep in mind, by the way, these are... I guess Batman never kills anybody, but I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D. here, now Fumi does some morally questionable stuff, okay?
Somebody Batman works closely with. At the end of the day, it's grossly problematic. Primarily because it depicts groomer-like themes in these stories, but because it's narratively justified, people often overlook it. And similarly, because the
narratively justified.
Narrative justifies these themes, people often feel like it's necessary to keep it in the story and often defend it in the process.
Holy shit, bro. First off, none of the examples you gave are even grooming. Okay, because none of them raised a character to have sex with them. Alright, none of that happened in any of the shows. Alright? And second, I mean, who even gives a fuck? It's all fiction anyways. You said this, let's see, this Aziz's. And I know I kind of lean to the left, but holy crap, I never thought people would act stupid over anime in games like Stellar Blade, yeah. Cognitive development only matters when they want to, otherwise petite, small bodies for characters that act very mature would be fine, but they complain about that too. The thing is that, oh yeah, you can't have, this quote-unquote grooming is problematic. Oh yeah, but kids can actually decide to have gender reassignment surgeries, though. Yeah, definitely. A 10-year-old can choose to get their frickin' dick chopped off or whatever. Or take puberty blockers, sure. Never cared for the scene in The Killing Joke, but... And I'm tired of the moral grandstanding people do about it. $100 says that guy has his psych degree. Yeah, I saw this actually. Cozy Games and Misogyny. I don't know, maybe we'll watch a little of this later. But holy shit, 50 fucking minutes, are you kidding me? And of course she has a nose ring. Fuck. What the hell is this? Anyway, let's watch a couple more of these because they're short. I think I saw one up here. Oh, yeah, hetero slop. He made a video about fucking hetero slop.
What makes a straight ship so bad, it starts getting called hetero slop? Let's start.
Yeah, because shipping straight character, a man and a woman getting together in a show is problematic now.
Talk about it. Hetero slop is a slang term. It's used.
Who the fuck is this? I just got back. I don't know, some fucking hoodweeb video essayist.
To describe a straight couple in any sort of media that are generic, have no chemistry, and are seemingly only together because they're both a boy and a girl. In particular, occurring when a male and female are shoved into a romantic relationship.
Okay, that's fucking bullshit, man. Okay, Ochako and Deku are really cute together, so I don't know about Invincible, it's probably dog shit, but come on. And look, as far as MHA goes, they call it hetero slut because all the fucking psycho fans are just salty that fucking Deku and Bakugo didn't bang. Alright, that's it.
Seemingly because they're both opposite genders. For example, a ship people call hetero slop is Eve and Mark. The most common critique following Invincible and Eve's relationship is that it lacks dramatic tension, with a lot of fans feeling like Eve lost a lot of her individual goals when she started dating Mark. And
look, honestly, I'll say this much. When you do enter into a relationship, sometimes you do have to give up some of your own individual goals, as he calls it. You know, for the sake of the relationship, if you have a family, for the sake of the whole family.
She was seemingly
I've seen 1 billion gay romance that feel more forced. Oh yeah, but no such thing as homo slop. Yeah, check the comments. Man. Even normies hate Invincible and they have characters with race and gender swaps. Has this guy even been in a relationship? Now that's a good question.
Reduced to just being a supportive role for him. A lot of fans like to say all they do is have sex and sit on a roof. Another one commonly labeled this is Deku and Uraraka. Their relationship is often criticized.
Did he just mispronounce Uraraka?
For being poorly executed, as well as being seemingly underdeveloped. A lot of fans feel like Uraraka's individual ambitions suffer because she has a crush on Deku. Rather than using her feelings as motivation to grow, she actively tries to deny them or suppress them, in particular so it won't interfere with her career. These two relationships are often critiqued because people state that they put the female in the backseat of the relationship, which inadvertently makes them an extension of the male.
The thing is that, look, if you have a show, if you have a protagonist and then you have a love interest for the protagonist, the love interest is just going to take a back seat no matter what. I mean, this even happens in like, you know, female-led series where you'll have sometimes have a male character who doesn't really do that much.
Male character instead of their own character instead. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying these ships are bad or that they don't love each other. I'm going over where the term heteroslop derives from and why it's.
I would never say it's bad. I'm just a historian here. I'm definitely a neutral actor.
Labeled that way. These kinds of ships are often critiqued for the fact that they seemingly put a female in the backseat of the relationship and put more emphasis on the male in the relationship rather than both.
Yeah, it's because the male is the fucking protagonist. Holy shit. New tourist buzzword dropped. Yeah. This whole fucking channel is fucked, man. Shipping culture? Oh my god. Let's see. What else is here? Immorality? Fuck. I'd have to dig through all this shit. It's got videos about Avatar. Man, Avatar's like a red flag now, I guess. Is Sokka a bad brother? What? God damn. Bro. Yeah, this is some fuck. Implication of ignoring a character's slavery ties? What? Abusive fathers? Fuck, man. My god. Holy shit. Gender ambiguous, the confusion with character gender that isn't explicitly stated. So now he's just saying that all the traps are fucking troons. Oh my god. Have you seen the new video criticizing anime tropes? Everything wrong with anime by the homie Damien. Let's see. High's whole channel is rage baiting speedrun. Yeah, no kidding. Will not accept Sokka slander. This guy trying so hard to act smart and be deep. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Let's try. I guess let's look at this one.
We all just want to know if they got dick and balls. Oftentimes people make their first
Okay, you can definitely hear much lower production value.
impression based off of someone's character design. But characters aren't bound by that rule. And so because of that, it often goes overlooked in gender discussions when talking about media that has characters that aren't explicitly male or female. There are
Okay, I'm pretty sure this guy from JJK is confirmed to be male though. You know, guy trying so hard to act smart and deep, many such cases.
arguments about the character of Kurara's gender in the JJK fandom. The negative sentiment surrounding Kurara in particular is largely driven by fans projecting their own views on gender and sexuality onto the character. Because of how ambiguous the character's gender is, discussion around the character became toxic. Oftentimes, media will depict a character that is gender fluid or gender.
Bro, there's a video that says the hidden fetishes in Teen Titans characters. What? Anyway, well, whatever, actually. This one's kind of boring. The homie Damien. Let's see. Everything wrong with anime? Holy shit. I'm gonna have to make a compilation of all this shit.
What up, y'all? It's the homie. Dang. The title of this video is not a lie. I am, in fact, going to talk about everything wrong with anime in the year of our Lady Aqua 2026. Think of this as a state of the union for the world of anime. What's going on in the industry, what's going on with the community, and what's going on with the actual artistic product itself. Of course, it'll be organized in a nice numbered list that you can skip to whatever part you're interested in, then comment below acting like you watched the whole thing.
Give this one my mandatory dislike. Well, he says it. Wait, what the fuck is this first 10 minutes? Obligatory rant about social media. Everyone is a critic. The otaku problem. Let those animators go home. Oh my, okay, this is not looking good.
Number 1, obligatory rant about social media. There's no way I can't mention social media first because this is maybe the biggest change that the anime community has experienced in the past 20 or so years. Japanese anime going viral on sites like Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok directly caused the 2010s anime boom in the West, specifically America. People always talk about how they remember where they were when 9/11 happened, or like, oh, where were you when JFK was assassinated? But I'm asking where you were when Demon Slayer episode 19 first dropped and broke the internet. Social media
Westerners on their soapbox in Eastern-centric media space, yeah.
It has changed how we as fans engage with anime, and in my opinion, it changed it for the worse. We just mentioned anime going viral, exposing it to a wider audience, especially out here in America. I know a lot of y'all gatekeepers are gonna be like, actually it's bad that anime became popular in the West. We need to keep American wokeness out of my Japanese cartoons. No, it's fine. More people
Fuck.
Watching anime means more money, which means the industry grows, which means we get more anime.
Yeah. Just forget about, the entire soul of anime being lost in the process as it becomes globalized slop. Yeah, just forget about that. Who even cares?
I mean, a lot of slop? Yeah, sure, but that's...
And he admits that it's a lot of slop. Come on. 2010's anime boom, Demon Slayer. Actually, yeah, what the fuck? What the hell was he going on about there?
Something in every medium, right? It also means all the good stuff can get more love and attention. And social media also gives people a new space to interact with their specific fandoms. Y'all know by now that I'm old as fuck.
Wait.
Yeah, sure, but that's something in every medium, right? It also means all the good stuff can get more love and attention. And social media also gives people a new space to interact with their specific fandoms.
And also, it's funny how he brings that up considering there's been like 3 mangakas who have been severely harassed on social media by their Western fans. Horikoshi got a lot of shit. There was that one yaoi author. There was recently the Gachi Akuta author. They want to turn anime into what most movies are today. Where do they think the good stuff came from? Drink this poison, I'll give you money. No thanks, yeah.
I'll know by now that I'm old.
When we even call these people grifters, they really are this short-sighted. I mean, it's crazy. Unrelated, but I low-key think animation peaked in 1995 to 97. I mean, maybe. Something like Golf Force wouldn't get made if anime got more globalized and Western. Yeah, no kidding.
I've been watching anime since the 80s at this point. So I've been through almost every major era of anime, and never before has it been easier to find people who like...
You say he's been watching anime since the 80s? How fucking old is this guy? Hope Kei Arana is safe and okay. She should be fine.
The shows that you like and then engage with those people. Before, you'd have to know people in real life or go to some musty-ass convention in someone's base.
Yeah, musty-ass. These people have so much disdain for, otaku's actual anime fans. It's crazy. Just Kunta Prime Video.
Now, if you want to talk about the vending machine isekai, there's a whole subreddit for that. I talked about this in a little discussion I had with my good friend, KL Koma.
Holy shit, KL Koma. I'm gonna have to talk about this guy next. I've got like an entire fucking list of these anime tourists now.
Who is a certified anime expert, graduated from Stanford.
Oh yeah, he sure as hell looks like a certified anime expert.
With a ball knower degree. He is the #1 expert on anime culture in the United States of America.
I think a lot of the pros is that anime got exposed to like a wider audience of people, really, It became more marketable, but also just like more accessible for every like type of person. Like just like how video games kind of exploded onto the scene a little bit, like that same effect, like there's more people and more different genres, more different games, more different people seeing this kind of stuff. So that leads to like more diversity when you look at like anime as a total, like in people being content creators or even like movies in general when things like pop off, like if you remember, was it Weather With You or Your Name? That became one of the highest grossing like anime films like during like 2017, 2018.
Bro, this guy thinks he's above going to anime conventions. Oh, subreddits suck anyway.
Run. Out of nowhere, I feel like that wasn't even like...
As if his favorite e-girl cosplayer isn't attending those musty conventions circa 2026.
Something you could think about like years later, like maybe a Dragon Ball movie would be a blockbuster, but like an anime movie like Demon Slayer being like top box office hit, kind of wild, I don't know. The pros, for me, the pros are rated a little bit with social media, just the sheer virality of like stuff that goes live and that people can see. So I'd like when new people come to a community that have already been established and see what they like. Like my favorite thing to ask anybody's coming.
Bro, anime tours trying to turn anime highbrow and Western feminist friendly. Fuck. watch a single episode of any anime and have more ball than this guy. Seems like he's more like a project professional. Sound a random homeless man and call them an expert. Fuck. No kidding. Lol, yeah, bro. Keep trying to act smart. Take those glasses off.
Into like a new show, like, or like they're trying anime out after years of not doing it or whatever. It's like, what do you like? You know, what do you want to watch? Like, I got some recommendations for you, but what do you like in your regular shows that anime can like help you with? You know, tell me. I'll put you on, or like you watch, like tell me what you watch. Like, I like engaging with the community at large. But
all that being said, y'all are probably expecting me to say that a negative of social media has been the new influx of
Yeah, let me guess. He's the only gonna bring up mainstream anime or anime that were already popular. All these people always plug people who parrot the same talking points. It's like a snake eating itself. They all peer review their reasoning and stances. That's the thing, you know? They never actually look outside their echo chamber for other opinions. Yeah, it's very, like, kind of nepotistic or even sort of incestuous.
Annoying fans, you know, bandwagoners. People who ship characters you don't want shipped. People who don't actually watch the series but want to talk about it anyway. And yeah, I guess that is annoying, but this is not a thing that's exclusive or unique to anime, and it's not anything unexpected. Weird, annoying fans are always going to exist. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay, well, it definitely can be.
But worse than that, in my opinion, is the fact that social media has changed the language of anime, the very way we discuss anime, and the media literacy of people.
Okay, media literacy alerts. Okay, bro, let's
throwing their opinions online. Take a look at how some people talk about anime on the internet these days.
Oh, come on. What? If you're a lukewarm anime fan watching Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Pokemon for 20 years, you are a tourist. I mean, look, if the only shows you watch are fucking DBZ and Naruto, then yeah, you're really not an otaku. That's just a fact. With how weird anime is in general, that's one of the reasons I really enjoyed Junji Ito. Not taking Fate slander, yeah. Shonen isn't the only anime with top-tier animation. What the hell? Great 7 out of 10 video games that you like are better than most 10 out of 10 video game. Wait. Whatever. What the hell is this? The best anime manga for beginners. I mean, these all seem pretty solid beginner anime, all things considered. Honestly, you do not get to call yourself an anime fan before you see these 4. Until you do, you are a tourist. I mean, I'm pretty sure this one's just a meme, but... Pseudo-intellectual is speaking, don't listen and learn. Literally just basic fandom wars, this has always been a thing. Just like people like what they like, bro. LARPing before. LARPing being an intellectual now, yeah.
Modern anime discourse, like many other things in life, now suffers from the good old engagement farming problem.
Actually, should probably speed this up. Oh, I already did.
This means that discussions online are often just inflammatory comparisons designed to make people foam at the mouth with unrelenting anger and hatred. I showed y'all some examples, but let's construct our own.
You know, people say that, but that's definitely not true all the time, okay? A lot of this shit, especially from tourists, is just, you know, retarded bullshit.
Right now, it's like a fun little exercise, like we're back in school, yeah? Basically, you use some superlative to make a bold, definitive statement.
Any anime is a beginner anime, constantly recommending the same show is boring, yeah. I binge watched like 3 anime tonight, but I sadly have work tomorrow. Brutal.
It has to be comparing thing A to thing B. And then you have to use an intellectual buzzword to make people think you know what you're talking about.
Okay, the lack of self-awareness is palpable.
For example, Jujutsu Kaisen has the worst character development out of all new-gen shonens. Literally just an example I came up with right now, but I'm sure you've heard people say something similar to this before. You have the superlative. Jujutsu Kaisen is the worst thing. You have the intellectual buzzword, character development. Whatever the fuck you think that means. And then you have the comparison to something else. In this case, all other new...
I'd binge watch like... Oh, wait, no. I'll take Fandom Wars 10 out of 10 times over aunties encroaching on our spaces. No kidding. Is this guy gonna bitch about the Oscar-verse race stuff next?
Gen shonens. With this simple comment, you upset Jujutsu Kaisen fans who will flock to the...
So he is scared of big words, yeah.
comments like a Left 4 Dead horde to defend their favorite series, likely using the same superlative buzzwords and comparisons we just talked about. But you'll have people who agree with this statement coming to gas you up as well. Or maybe they don't even agree, you know, they've never
character development is a buzzword, apparently. News to me.
Even thought about it before. But the overarching term New Gen Shonens includes their series too, so it makes them feel good that they're included in this list of anime that are better than JJK in this aspect. See? Instant 100k retweets on Twitter, instant million views on YouTube, 20 million views on TikTok, whatever. None of this is really legitimate discourse from people who are passionate about the medium. Now, people on social media will obviously do this because engagement farming can make you a decent bit of money these days. But the language and rhetoric used here has...
Strawman example he gave is straight up true, though. JJK blows. It sounds like he just can't handle people having any kind of discussion. Yeah? Friend is calling, so I'm going to go now. Have a good stream. Yeah, thanks for coming, Blue Turtle. See you around.
Seeped into regular conversations that aren't meant to be desperately scrounging for ad revenue. What I mean by this is people copying the language used by grifters, if you will, and then using it in non-engagement farming conversations because they think that's the norm, you know, they think that's how you're supposed to discuss art. For example, look at this comment I found under a completely legal and non-sketchy stream of the klutzy class monitor and the girl with the short skirt. I've read the manga up to chapter 80, which is where the and I just want to let y'all know that we're in for some preem rom-com action with this show.
Okay, what's
completely innocent comment, but you see it has some similar elements to what we've been talking about.
What are you talking about? They're just saying I read the manga and the story's really good. What are you complaining about? It's just a tourist calling out normies.
Premium rom-com action, they say. It's an exaggerated comparison. This is premium stuff.
What do you mean comparison? He's not... They didn't compare it to anything. They just said it's good. Fuck.
Compared to all the other rom-coms. And you see, it's the top like comment on this stream, and this person didn't receive a single yen for their efforts. This is not an entirely new phenomenon, but...
What the hell is he... What the... Okay, this guy... What the hell, man? What?
It's one that is fueled by social media.
Okay, this is going in my next video. Like,
he has encouragement of engagement farming. You know, saying whatever you can to get the most likes, comments, retweets.
Oh man, you know, I really like Nier Automata. It's a really good game. What the fuck are you doing engagement farming, bro? What the hell?
You know, views, reposts, whatever. To the point where I think you've noticed younger people think that this is just the default way to talk about anime. Like I said, you know, this has been normalized.
How else are you going to talk
Modern
about?
fans of anime have been trained with a standard of norms that have come from social media. For example,
I think you have to paint before filming this. You aren't allowed to like things anymore or be opinionated, I guess. What the hell are you talking about?
Fuck. It's chock full of sources. I made sure to came prepared today. Look at this comment on a recent community post I made. I asked, what was the worst anime you've seen recently? Again, innocent comment, you know, I'm not making fun of them or anything, but this is what they said. Why would I watch a bad anime? Batakopi was severely disappointing. People on the internet make a high about it, and then when I watched it, I felt so disappointed.
Okay, what's wrong? Can you ask somebody what's the worst anime you've seen recently? And he says Takopi. He doesn't compare it to anything. He just says his opinion. And an opinion he asked for, by the way. We should all just mindlessly watch anime and say nothing about it. I guess so.
So yeah, you can see they go on to talk about Takopi, but that's not the point. It doesn't really matter what anime they're talking about. It's the idea of them saying, why would I watch a bad anime?
I mean, it's true. You know, one issue with the modern anime fandom is tourists watching shows that they know that they don't like, or shows that they know they won't like, and then complain about it.
I see this type of comment all the time because I love talking about terrible anime and manga on this channel, and people are always like, oh, why do you watch these bad anime?
Oh yeah, you're engagement farming if you're complaining about if you say an anime's bad, but then he shits on Rent a Girlfriend.
Or I don't watch bad anime. How do you know an anime's bad before you watch it? It's not like you're trying to actively go out and watch an anime you think is bad. Well, I mean, I do that because I like bad anime. But usually people just watch a show and it turns out to be bad. Therefore, they watched a bad anime. But I'm going to assume here that this person and other people who say things like this are going off that mindset of if it doesn't have a certain score on my anime list, I won't watch it. Or
well, look, now that's an assumption, but Takobi deserves a season 2.
In general sense, if people aren't saying good things about it on social media, I won't watch it. Therefore, they can say that they never...
Well, I mean, look, that makes sense. I mean, if everyone's saying a show is ass, then why would you go and watch it? If everyone says it's good, then maybe you should give it a try. And I mean, look, I don't necessarily agree with that. but it's kind of just basic logic, right? You know, word of mouth. I mean, look, it's not like you can watch every single show that comes out. I mean, you can, but most people don't.
Ever watch bad anime. This is just another example of the type of mentality social media creates in the modern anime community. A sort of validation system. You know, this show has to be good because this site says
I prefer being invested with good storytelling and character development, yeah.
it's good. This online community says it's good, and this little Crunchyroll clips thing on YouTube gets 10 million views. What else?
Look, I could say maybe, I don't know. I mean, look, he's got to provide better evidence if he's going to make these claims, you know, or at least
It needs to be said. It's good. And if it doesn't have all those things, it's a bad anime, so why would I watch it? Now, back in the day, you had this type of thinking too, don't get it twisted. You know, people were slaves to reviews and critics as well, but, you know, it's a little bit different these days. And that leads into my second point. Number 2, everyone is a critic. As much as people think...
Okay, we're finally out of that part. Everyone is a critic. Let's see.
This is a reaction channel. It's not. The homie Damien on youtube.com is hashtag not a reaction channel, despite the fact that I'm definitely a reaction channel. But I consider this to be a critical channel, and that was my original intention making the channel to begin with. I wanted to do critical commentary, which, you know, meant reactions, but also talking about stuff like in this video. So that makes it all the more ironic when I say that I really hate the fact that we are oversaturated with critical anime content creators these days. Whether it's YouTubers like myself who make content breaking down or analyzing or reviewing different shows and movies, or if it's people on TikTok just giving their quick 30-second hot takes, or someone on Twitter live tweeting their thoughts as they watch a new show. All of y'all have seen content like this, right? And again, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I'm sure you're thinking that the point of
Isn't he included, you'd think?
this section is for me to complain that everyone's a critic and people should keep their opinions to themselves. No, it's not that. Again, it's like my previous point. It's how normalized it's become to watch an anime with your fucking Roger Ebert film critic glasses on as if that's how you're always supposed to watch anime.
Okay, how many people even do that?
Instead of just watching a show to enjoy it and be entertained.
I'm not applying like linear physics to like my anime.
Oh, we got the scholar back.
Like, no, that's not how a story works. Like, it happens in the confines of its own pages. Like, the author sets these rules, regulations. Like, we're reviewing it. We're just trying to experience it, really, right? So, yes, the critique that people have are valid in some sense, but like also like, who gives a fuck, really? Like, do you need to at this point? Like, and it definitely has changed over the years. I think earlier anime, I think still had a lot of critique. Talk about something like Evangelion, right? Like, people critique that even to this day.
Look, y'all, the fact of the matter is that a lot of people, especially if they're young, spend a lot of time on social media every day. And if the content they're seeing reflects a certain attitude, normalizes a certain behavior, they may be more likely to imitate that behavior themselves, even in an innocent way with no ill intent. So if everyone is constantly watching the new seasonal battle...
Irony is vomiting. His hot take criticism of people having opinions they were asked or given a space to share, yeah.
Shonen with their pen and paper out, ready to give it a score from 1 to 10 and prep their little tweets about pacing or character development or how the Sakuga frames and impact shots looked. What? People start to think that that's what you're supposed to do when you watch anime.
You know, so he's still got grain around his face. I mean, come on, man.
And I want to keep emphasizing there's nothing wrong with doing this, but if this is the only way you consume the medium, I think you're missing out on a lot of the enjoyment that comes from, you know, just enjoying the anime. Number 3.
Okay, now here's the money shot, okay? The otaku problem. Let's see.
The otaku problem. So, this is something I've talked about many times before as something...
He's talked about it many times. I guess I'll have to do a dive into this guy too. There is like an infinite amount of these people. It's crazy.
That I absolutely hate when it's done poorly. But sometimes it can be done in like a tongue-in-cheek way and it's funny, but you know what I mean. And this is what I'm talking about.
Massive difference between a 30-second TikTok algorithmic slop standard reaction content, actual granular anime analysis, yeah.
Anime, for many years now, has tailored its stories to cater to the otaku fantasy.
Fuck. It's more like it's the opposite. Anime has stopped catering to otaku fantasies. What the fuck's this guy on about?
Hideaki Anno, the creator of Neon Genesis Evangelion, famously talked about this many times before at length. And he actually made it a big part of Evangelion, the show itself. A lot of people forget that the ending is supposed to be a commentary on otaku escapism and...
What? Is that real?
Separating fiction from reality. But what...
Is that actually true? I'm kind of calling bullshit on that one. Is the ending of Ava supposed to be some otaku allegory? What? I mean, it's been a while since I've watched Ava, but there's no fucking way. There's no way. Anno did say that. When did he say it? Okay, because if he said it in like 2010, then honestly, I think he might just be doing some revisionism. Wasn't Anno otaku once? Yeah.
I mean when I say otaku culture. Okay, so if you don't know, in Japan, an otaku is someone who is just obsessive about something, right? It doesn't have to be anime. You can have a sports otaku, a cooking otaku, a race car.
I also said something along those lines criticizing otaku, but he didn't write the ending about that. I think, so is this just misinformation, like the fake Miyazaki quote?
Otaku. But when it comes to anime and manga otaku specifically, there's a certain culture around them that involves certain archetypes, tropes, and stories that cater to their lifestyle and worldview. To be very blunt about it, otakus are losers, and this means that media...
Yeah, otakus are losers. You heard it here first. Yeah, and these people are like, oh, I'm not a tourist. By the way, all anime fans are losers. Hideaki Anno has spoken about Neon Genesis Evangelion as a critique of otaku culture across multiple interviews and essays throughout his career. I mean, I guess parts of it, yeah. I guess I'd have to look into it a bit more. But, I don't know. People don't even allow the posting of lewd figures of Eva characters, even though Evangelion is older than most people online. You know, there's an Evangelion dating sim, but most prominently during a talk session with a voice actress, Yuko Miyamura in 1996, and in a 1997 post-release interview, when he famously declared that one of Evangelion's themes was that being an otaku is embarrassing. The idea that Evangelion is an anti-escapist critique or a bucket of cold water thrown at fans is heavily documented through several specific historical checkpoints. The idea that Evangelion is an anti-escapist, I already said that. This shit is news to me. I mean, is it because, you know, Shinji is sort of a more grounded protagonist? Is that sort of part of it? I guess. Or that, I guess even, like, Asuka is sort of written more realistically. Just called otakus losers. Yeah, look at this dude's face trying so hard to be the depressed commentator archetype. What's funny is that most otakus I've met have a shit ton of official merch, and that shit is expensive. That's the thing. You know, most otakus are normal people, maybe even more successful on average. You know, because being an otaku definitely ain't cheap.
It caters to them is media that is targeted towards losers. This means...
Yeah, targeted towards losers, fuck.
Stories that uplift the introverted loners who may be smaller and scrawny, and then villainizing jocks or charismatic popular people. This means stories that add in tropes that otakus enjoy, like zero-to-hero stories, power fantasies, escapism stories, idealized romance, celebrating nerdy interests, that kind of thing.
Wow, notice how many anime is he describing with those tropes? Fuck.
Stereotypical things that people think of when you see those jokes or memes of anime characters be like. Those things are often tropes that have evolved in otaku culture. Hiroki Azuma famously argued that modern otaku often consume character traits and tropes rather than traditional narratives. For example, an anime usually will sell itself on being a tsundere anime or a moe anime. This character is defined as a cat girl, so you already know what they're gonna be like. You know, this guy is the hot-blooded
so I guess demographic Huss doesn't exist. Ano's anti-escapism oozes with insecurity. He knows deep down he would never function as a salaryman due to his self-proclaimed autism, yet he fetishizes wage slaving as a response to escapism. That's the whole thing. A lot of these people who kind of are sort of anti-otaku or anti-escapism, a lot of it is just, you know, insecurity on their part, you know. Just discovered the hero's journey. Guy just hates fiction because deep down he understands had Evangelion not been the massive financial success it was, he would most definitely be a hapless debt slave nowadays, if not a NEET. Yeah, I can see that, but I think the ending was way deeper than this one concept. I don't know, maybe I'll make a video on that, because that would be an interesting rabbit hole to go down.
shonen protagonist, so you know what he's gonna be like. This girl is a kudere, this girl is a yandere, this is the marketable mascot. You know, you already know what all these characters will be like, and that's the draw of the anime, instead of anything about the artistic vision itself. Basically, instead of saying, tell me a compelling story, an otaku audience will say, give me characters and tropes I enjoy interacting with. And again,
okay, I think that's seriously watering down how people look at this stuff. I mean, keep in mind, by the way, you know, otakus will literally play, you know, dating sim visual novels where you go through fucking 5 hours of backstory and character development to get to, you know, one lewd scene, right? These pauses, look at his face, yeah.
And I've been saying this so much through the video, but I have to repeat it. This isn't inherently bad on its own, but when it becomes the pervasive norm, it is very, very limiting to anime as a serious artistic medium. Because
it's a serious artistic medium.
Fact of the matter is that all these traits and tropes are not inherent to anime, even though they become so associated with the medium that people think that's the case. Anime is just animation from Japan, so that could literally be anything. There's so much potential for art to be made.
The original Fate comes to mind, yeah.
It's just, you know, mind-blowing in creativity and just pushing the boundaries of animation as a medium. But a lot of that can get stifled because creators are like, well, this is what anime is like. It's about big titty waifus or tournament arcs or...
That's right, big titty waifus. That's what anime is about, man.
Nerdy introvert gets with the hot gyaru. I mean, that's what sells. That's what otakus want, so why not give it to them?
This guy. Brother, it's not just the animation.
You yourself have likely complained about a very prevalent modern example of this phenomenon, and that's the abundance of isekai anime out there.
Yeah, the mandatory complaining about isekai shows. Fate is so peak, should have had an Ilya route, yeah.
Isekai stories are the ultimate example of writing stuff that's meant to suck off otakus.
You know, also, by the way, he's completely ignoring all the female otakus who exist who fucking, you know, read yaoi and, you know, shoujo and otome, play otome games and all that crap, or, you know, watch free. This isn't inherently bad, even though you are all losers and everything you like is problematic. They always try and fence it. You know, that's the weird thing. It's like, they always try and fence it even though they're so blatant about it. You know, they're so blatantly, you know, one way. And IQ too low. You say that cartoons are anime because that's the translation of something like that. Genuinely the type of guy to make that argument.
Just think about all the stereotypical cliches that you dislike about isekai, and a lot of those are tropes added in to make otaku feel comfortable, and that can be very limiting.
The whole reason why isekai even exists is because of otaku, and honestly, even just sort of general audiences, but not bad, but everything you like and do is bad, yeah.
Like you have to follow a formula almost. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make, right? This kind of thing can be limiting to anime as an art form. People aren't allowed to make bold writing choices, or
Look, people make bold writing choices all the time.
Writers aren't allowed to make their audiences uncomfortable. Anything that disrupts the fantasy.
Okay, the irony there.
Or challenges the audience's perspective is bad because this is supposed to be your comforting escape from the real world.
Okay, what about something like Shield Hero then? That got made and is, you know, very much beloved.
The otaku audience doesn't want the author to tell their story and make the art they want to make. They want them to slurp their dicks and give them something that will fill whatever void they have in their lives.
Excuse me? Okay, first of all, just because someone makes a piece of art, that doesn't inherently have value to the market, okay? Every book, movie, whatever that's ever been released, you know, for profit is trying to appeal to a target audience to make money, okay? The people who buy a light novel want a story that they actually want to read. They don't really care about the artist's specific creative vision, at least not until they actually read it. This passive-aggressive argument is really getting old. Fuck, no kidding.
And I mentioned how this has always been a thing in anime, but the reason I bring it up in a video about what's wrong with modern anime is because now these tropes have come to be seen as defining features of anime as a medium.
Look, these tropes have fucking always existed. If anything, you know, we're getting less. The thing that's so crazy is that we're getting less otaku anime than we used to. You know? Which is why this stuff actually does fucking annoy me. Because even though they're, you know, they still claim to be, it's such a big fucking problem. Only guy which AI would replace. Media industry has become very formulaic in general. Broadly speaking, he's right, but what is the actual point? I don't know. And we could get into that. I mean, they're making more anime than ever, which is true, but I don't know. I feel like people... Look, I'll say this much. I think anime definitely was better in, like, the 2000s or whatever, but people definitely exaggerate the difference. You know, because the 2000s still had plenty of, you know, mid shows. You know, like... You know, like, I've been watching Maburaho. I think it's solid, but I don't think it's fucking leagues better than the kind of, you know, harem stuff we get now. This is really just boiling down to him being mad that consumers want something and the animators, writers are giving them that, what they want. Well, yeah, exactly. And the whole thing, all these light novels and manga, they're made by otakus. They're completely fine with the arrangement. Okay? These, you know, light novel and manga authors want to make otaku works for otakus.
When I said before that is 100% not the case, and it doesn't have to be the case. For me, it's so annoying to see a medium as great as anime be stifled and limited by this desire to cater to this.
Yeah, a medium as great as anime, you know, only watches, like, the shonen shit, by the way. And a lot of these otaku series are actually genuinely really good too and have very solid stories.
Merchandise buying, figurine collecting, physical Blu-ray buying otaku audience. I mean, I get why it happened.
Yeah, all those loser otakus who actually support the medium versus this guy who probably only has a Crunchyroll subscription. Needs to read some books, bro. Fuck. You know, man, I really wish we could just go back to bullying and the fans and not trying to control the medium. Fuck. Like, anime is just the tip of the iceberg,
But
yeah.
I always wonder what the medium would be like if it had its own version of the new Hollywood era, where you'd have the writer-directors creating their own works of art that had their individual vision in there. And that's
People still do that all the fucking time. You do realize right now, any Japanese person can go to one of these, like, light novel, you know, web novel platforms and publish their own book. And if it gets popular enough, you know, it will get a, you know, proper official publication. Okay? Not that no one is being held back by anything.
why I want to celebrate the
Man, real Vans pirate shit, yeah.
anime out there that do make an effort to focus on the art rather than catering to an audience. But those type of anime are becoming fewer and far between, and that's because of the next point I'm going to talk about. And that has to do with the anime industry itself.
Anime industry itself, stifled by censorship and choices to adapt things that sell well, like isekai. There's more variety in the 2000s, including otaku anime. I mean, yeah, for sure, but, you know.
Let those animators go home.
This guy has no soul. Fuck.
The final point I want to make in this video is about the business of the...
I guess he's going to talk... keep in mind, by the way, I already know what he's going to talk about. He's going to be like, the animators aren't paid enough, which is true, by the way. But the whole thing, he started this video like, anime becoming popular globally. It's good because it's more money for anime. Okay, by the way, the money that... This extra money, it's going towards making more isekai slop, which he doesn't like. And it's also not going towards the animators, which he's now about to complain about. So, if we aren't getting more interesting shows, and we aren't actually paying the animators properly, then what the fuck is the point of anime becoming popular globally again? Catering to an audience, how you make money, what is this guy on? Look. Anybody who's ever made any piece of art has a target audience in mind, okay? Especially if you're actually planning to sell it in some way. That's just a fact of the business. And look, a lot of otakus make art themselves, so they cater to an otaku audience, you know? Like Yukimiya, who made No Game, No Life, right? That's sort of an example. You know, all kinds of stuff. He sold his soul to make content like this by the woke devil.
Anime industry. In 2026, anime is bigger than ever from a global perspective, and this means many Japanese anime studios are looking to cater to these overseas markets. You know, China, Korea.
And, yo, by the way, you know, catering to overseas markets, all right, trying to make, you know, globalized slop that can appeal to anybody, that's definitely how we have anime become more creative and more interesting, by trying to make products that appeal to everybody. Honest frustration with the otaku subculture isn't just an external message slapped onto the end of Ava. The original 97 ending is profoundly deep because, written by an author who was genuinely struggling alongside his audience, Anno wasn't standing above the fans lecturing them like he does now. That he's one of the most esteemed and successful directors in the industry. I'll have to look into this one. This seems like a fucking, like a Black Hermione moment. Wants it to be more like New Hollywood, which is one of the reasons people have been pushed away towards Eastern media. I mean, that's the thing. And if his goal is to have more anime, you know, anime that's more interesting and more creative, then having anime just become another Hollywood is exactly how you don't do that. Anime, one of the last bastions of decent media for people in the West, yeah.
Indonesia,
Gotta go, man. Have a good stream. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Duck Guy.
Philippines, Latin America, and of course, the good old USA. China is obviously the biggest market here. You know, it has all the money these Japanese studios could want. Even a niche hit in China can bring a lot of that sweet revenue in. But there's also the US, which, you know, even though America's a little bit washed these days, no one can deny that American pop culture is still the dominant force globally. So any anime that becomes a hit over here in the States becomes more influential in the zeitgeist. China's got...
When did Rev call out Asmongold? Oh, I completely forgot about that segment. I guess we'll close the stream on that, but he did make a video. Yeah, not like a mockery, but a criticism of good intentions. I don't know. I'll have to do a deep dive into that now, but yeah.
the money and America has the motion, as the kids say. So what does this mean? This means the overseas markets have overtaken the Japanese domestic market in revenue. Now, if you remember earlier in the video, now you might be expecting to make the point of, oh, anime is gonna have to conform to strict Chinese censorship, or they're gonna make, anime cater to woke Americans.
Yeah, real concerns, by the way.
Because, we all know that's a big talking point online, but I promise y'all I do not care about any of that. What I do...
I don't care about any of that. See, that's the whole thing, isn't it? You don't care. Alright? You don't care about anime potentially getting censored because you don't actually care about anime.
Care about is the fact that higher demand and bigger markets means that more content needs to be produced.
More content, which, by the way, is all slop, according to him, by the way.
This is kind of what we talked about earlier again. If you're even a little bit in the know with the anime community, you will know that the staff working in anime studios don't exactly have the cushiest work lives. Staff shortages, compressed schedules, more and more outsourcing, production collapses. These are all real issues that modern anime studios face trying to meet the demands of anime's steadily growing popularity. Animating talent is...
So I guess he just complains about that. Which, I mean, look, animators definitely are treated pretty poorly, but, anime becoming more globalized hasn't fixed that and won't fix it, so it's just a moot point. America does nothing but ruin pop culture. But there's nothing good in the West, fuck. Who cares? Why do you care? I don't care. Original end of Evangelion was born out of genuine empathy for the loser Japan views otaku as such, and good intentions, unlike what Hideaki Anno became later down the line, yeah?
It's also becoming more limited too, and that means studios need to be more profitable as ever.
Even if he thinks people's concerns are exaggerated, the idea that there's zero valid concerns are insane. Fuck.
No, that's how capitalism works, right? So studios want to take less risks on anime originals and focus on adaptations that they know will be a hit because they already have an audience, right?
Okay, so now he's talking about how anime being globalized leads to less creativity. Awesome.
Also want to focus on trends, what tropes are popular, and what will drive engagement on social media and streaming sites. And I think this is the cause of the sameness you feel in a lot of modern anime. It's not like anime didn't have derivative slop back in the day, but it's just more prominent now and on a bigger scale because the industry itself is bigger. That's why...
This guy is an actual fucking retard. He's like, I don't care about anime being globalized. In fact, it's gonna be a good thing. Okay, by the way, anime, there's just too much generic slop these days. Oh yeah, by the way, the globalization of anime led to all this generic slop. Are you an actual retard? Like, throbbing at the mouth? What?
You can often just boil down and sell modern anime based on what tropes happen in them. Oh, this is a cute girls doing cute thing anime. Oh, this is a revenge power fantasy anime. Oh, this is a loser guy gets with a hot girl anime.
Okay, he's seriously watering down all of these fucking shows. I don't even like My Dress Up Darling, but there's definitely more to it than that. And also, My Dress Up Darling also appeals to women pretty strongly. That's another thing. Anno was a severely depressed otaku himself. Ava only became an obnoxious mocking lecturer when an older, detached, and financially secure Anno tried to recreate it decades later without any of the original otaku spirit left in his heart. Yeah. He's just contradicting himself. This guy, massive tourist. Tourist doesn't even describe him. Whoa, 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 Gojo isn't a loser. That's the thing, Gojo isn't a loser, okay? He's tall, he's handsome, he's a skilled artisan, comes from, a, well-respected family. Like, only actual loser thing about him is being shy, and that's it. Telling you when dumb people try to act smart and wise, they end up sounding like him. Nah, fucking no kidding.
Like, it's getting even more specific than just saying the genre of, like, romance or action. It's like, you already know the whole show just off that. As a lover of anime original...
Yeah.
Well, this definitely sucks for me, because while manga is great, I actually think it's really hard to adapt.
So I don't understand why Rito of Healer passes an anime. That's a straight-up H. Man.
The manga into the visual language of film. I like anime originals because a good one will really make use of the medium of animation to its fullest, so it really sucks that studios are going to be more hesitant to put money into those these days. And of course, I also have to advocate for better treatment of animation staff. We all know what corporate work culture is like, not just in Japan, but all over. Because just because anime is more profitable doesn't mean workers are getting paid more. All that being said though...
Yeah, exactly, bro. Derivative anime now is generic shoelace or isekai slop. Back then it was ecchi harem kino. Like Maburaho, Rosario Vampire, and Kano-Con that all managed to still keep a unique identity. This guy thinks he's PhD yet failures.
It's not all doom and gloom because the expansion of anime globally means that we get new stories told for new groups of people, not just Japanese stories in a Japanese lens. Though even workers are getting paid more. All that being said, though, it's not all doom and gloom because the expansion of anime globally means that we get new stories told for new groups of people.
We've already established that anime getting bigger has actually led to less interesting stories and more slop.
Not just Japanese stories in a Japanese lens.
Also, the whole reason why anime has its unique identity is because it's Japanese. What the fuck? I think being shy is perfectly fine and even desirable to certain types of people. Everyone needs you to develop yourself and have value of some sort in life, but being shy, reserved emotionally is K. I mean, look, there's nothing inherently wrong with, being shy, right? I mean, especially if we're talking Gojo, I mean, he's a frickin' doll maker. Does it really matter? Japanese stories still matter. I don't care about other groups of people. Fuck.
Oh, even saying that is a bit controversial because you have many people in the industry saying they want to keep anime Japanese. And, I can sort of see that too. Animation is a universal medium, it's not tied to any particular culture or ethnic group. But anime specifically is definitely a Japanese thing. Though I guess it doesn't have to be, but it's
definitely a Japanese thing, but I guess it doesn't have to be. Totally not a tourist, by the way.
It does make sense that Japanese people would take a lot of pride in it as a big part of modern culture over there because it literally is. So yeah, that part has a lot of nuance in it that could be a whole video on its own. These are some, but not all, of the biggest problems with anime in the big old year of 2026, according to yours truly. So yeah, the title is clickbait. I said I was going to talk about everything wrong with anime, all the problems with anime. These are just some. Sue me. And there's also a lot to be hopeful about for the future of the medium. But if you really like something, and I really like—
Holy shit, this video only has 50. I guess it just came out today. I guess it's okay then.
Like anime. You gotta criticize it when there are flaws so that it can be the best it can be. That being said, thank you all for watching.
Oh my god, bro. Fuck. Shit. What else is even in here? Fuck. Complained about basically every topic antis and tourists complain about, by the way. Pretty sure all this is cultural appropriation if it's any— he'd call this cultural appropriation if it's any other culture, yeah. Let's make a Western cowboy film without being a Western cowboy film. No one is subscribing to that shit, bro. No fucking kidding. This is crazy, man. There's so many of these videos, and more get made every day. What else does he even talk about? This anime was made for losers. Fuck off, man. Okay. Yeah, Otaku-kun is a total loser. Keep in mind, talented pretty boy. In many such cases. Oh my... Actually, are these 80,000 subs, let's say? I guess the views are okay. Actually, not really, because these are more edited videos. So you should be getting way more, actually. Or is this... Or actually, I guess a lot of these are reactions, so... Make a Pirates of the Caribbean with Somali pirates. Fuck. Is this moral? Is he gonna talk about... Holy shit, there's way too many of these fucking people, man. What the fuck? Talk about anime tourists. I swear. What the hell? Man, it's like... fuck. It's like a... Look, it's like fucking... It's just like a... It's like a whole, anime fandom now. It's like a fucking moldy... It's like a fucking dilapidated house, okay? You see the disgusting wallpaper, and then you peel it back, and it's just termite infested. Like, holy crap, but... Anyway, this anime was made for losers. Period. Fingers on his chin, acting like he's a philosopher. Good grief. Whatever, fuck it. Let's watch this one, I guess.
And you might look at the title of this video and say,
well, Damien, isn't all anime made for losers?
And
which he just said, he said in the other video.
Be correct. PNG image of San Antonio Spurs superstar Victor Wembanyama. But
yeah, anime is all made for losers. BRB, let me grift off of it a little more.
Some anime were made specifically for turbo giga losers. And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay, this guy's background is LeBlanc from Persona 5. Okay, Persona 5, the whole selling point of the Persona series is that it's a fucking dating sim. Okay, oh yeah, but everyone else is a fucking loser, by the way. Okay, bro.
For reference, we're going to be talking about 2 anime that are currently airing this spring season. Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku, and I Made Friends with the second prettiest girl in my class. Here's a challenge for you in the comments. See if you can guess what these 2 anime are about just off of the titles.
What do you mean, they're rom-coms?
I bet you can't.
Wish fulfillment and a fuck.
So we're going to be talking about Otagyaru and Kuranika, which are the shorthand names, you know, for the sake of everybody's sanity, of course. Now, obviously, I'm joking and being hyperbolic by saying these anime are for losers. I mean, I like them.
Oh yeah, he's definitely just joking. Keep in mind, okay, he thinks all otakus are losers, so like Twilight, right? They never bring up that. You know, they never bring up love in deep space, okay, but they'll shit on you for everything else. The Persona series is infected by tourists like this. It's really weird. It honestly is just so bizarre when you actually stop to think about it.
I'm not a loser, right?
Divorce could only see his daughters once a week, once airballed a layup. I think this is all a joke, but
what we're talking about here are anime that are meant to be self-insert, wish fulfillment fantasies. They always give you an exciting premise to lure you in, and then the rest is just the same rom-com beats we've seen a million times. And that premise is usually a question.
You know, what do these people expect from a rom-com? I mean, they're not supposed to be high stakes, they're not supposed to have super deep themes or be these in-depth character studies. It's supposed to be romance and comedy. Even if it's for... Wait, probably doesn't even know shit about Personas, wants to appear niche to the casual anime shonen watcher, yeah. Even if it's for losers, why do they act like everything they do is perfect, like let people have their hobbies in peace? These anime are issues, but Western rom-com slot for women isn't, which wish fulfillment's only a problem when men... Are you all losers? Everything you like is problematic. Anime should be global, even if it's made worse because more money. Just a joke, by the way. That's the crazy thing, okay? He says all this shit is for losers, but then he admits that, like, more of it is getting made because anime's globalized. Tourists, nah, they're termates now, like you said earlier, yeah. Did say he's been watching anime since the 80s, so who knows? Maybe his wife divorced him over these days. Fuck, wouldn't be surprised.
In the case of these 2...
Well, look, I sure as hell hope this guy ain't, like, fucking 40. I mean, come on. Same guy that complained about people ever criticizing anime and using big words. Yeah, that's true, actually. Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to criticize anime or use big words, but BRP, let me drop these video essays.
Shows it's, hey there, loser. What if hot girls were interested in the same weird stuff you're interested in, and because of that, they fall in love with you for some reason? I'm sure you've seen many of these in the past before. So,
you know, people, you know, he says that, but isn't it very common for people to get into romantic relationships over a shared hobby?
So let's talk about Otagyaru first. Otagyaru is about this boring otaku dweeb with no friends who is obsessed with Kirariman Pets, which is an anime targeted towards little girls. He finds out that this Gyaru, who is just the hottest girl ever, she's perfect and everyone loves her and she'd never associate with a weirdo otaku, is...
Okay, so he's simping over... Fuck. Shit. You know, that's another thing, okay? He's... You know, I'm sure this guy, if he ever talked about, you know, the dating scene or, you know, the male loneliness epidemic, he would just be like, just be nice, just be yourself. Okay, meanwhile, he's like, oh, an anime where a girl likes a guy just because she likes him? Just because he's nice? Oh my god.
Secretly into the same anime that he is, and thus a friendship blossoms between the two. And perhaps a romance too. And she also has another popular Gyaru friend who also falls in love with Mr. Otaku because, I don't know, I guess we need multiple.
Simping over a high schooler, good point.
Waifus so the audience can pick their favorite. Otagyaru is the most textbook
crazy. I think they're both, I think they're 15 actually, because I'm pretty sure they're first years.
Example of the anime archetype we're talking about today. It's meant to be a fantasy that injects you with as much oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, all that stuff. Yeah,
it's almost like it's entertainment or something.
It's supposed to make you feel good. And I say you because yes, you, the viewer, are supposed to self-insert into the main character's shoes. You are supposed to be living the fantasy and imagining how great it would be if you were in this situation. That's why there's a million scenes like this.
オタクくんさ、3人で遊ぶときましたか? オタクくんさ.
Literally looking into the camera at you. That's the play. That's what this whole big carnival ride is about. Now, all that being said, none of that is really bad. You know, that doesn't mean the show is bad.
What does this idea of romance even entail? Does he only want to see the main girl going for Chad? Damn, I never even thought of that. Their entire criticism of modern men is just be yourself, be nice, but stories about doing that are problematic. Yeah, I might make a video about that eventually. It's insane hypocrisy. Man. Wow, this guy must have media literacy with this analysis. The irony is that I bet this guy doom scrolls on TikTok to get his dopamine fix, but takes issues with this. That's the whole thing. Everybody has their vice, you know? But, oh yeah, watching anime is problematic, okay? Maybe we'll check out his Twitter afterwards, see how many tweets he's made.
That's what this whole big carnival ride is about. Now, all of that being said, none of that is really bad. You know, that doesn't mean the show is bad.
Yeah, none of that's really bad, okay? If you're an otaku, you're a disgusting loser. And all these self-insert otaku shows, it's all garbage, but oh yeah, you're not a bad person for liking it.
It's true that when I say shows like this are for losers, I mean that, you know, someone who fits the description of some geek with no friends and no success with women, they would benefit from this fantasy the most. It would be the exact...
What do you mean benefit?
That kind of wish fulfillment they'd want or need.
Well, what if you don't fit that description? Can normal people enjoy such specifically targeted media?
That's a great question, PNG image of San Antonio Spurs superstar Victor Wembanyama. I'd say the answer is yes, because it's not as specifically targeted as it seems. You may think...
Okay, so he's like, this is a show targeted specifically for loser otakus, but actually it's not really targeted for loser otakus, so it's okay for me and other normies to like it.
That if you don't fit the mold of who the show is meant for, you won't get any enjoyment out of it, and I don't think that's true. This will be more apparent when we talk about the next
Yo, I should look into this shit. Because, you know, I guarantee like half the rom-coms a guy like this would bitch about are written by women.
Show, but let's stick with Otagyari for now. A common point that I bring up all the time on my channel is that you don't necessarily need to relate to the media you're watching to be able to enjoy it. You don't need to play chess to enjoy Queen's Gambit. You don't...
What?
Need to have experienced divorce to enjoy Marriage Story. And you don't need to be a pedophile to enjoy Mushoku Tensei.
Fuck. Okay, so another guy saying Mushoku Tensei is PDF still watches a... This is so dumb, okay? Like, I'll say this much. To enjoy some of these shows, you do have to at least empathize with the characters to actually, you know, get into the story. You know, the Mushoku Tensei thing is even more insane because they'll say it's a fucking pedo show, but then they'll watch the fucking pedo show. You know, even more unhinged if they think it's, like, actual CP or whatever. Wow, it's starting to sound more and more like it's totally fine to enjoy everything unless you are ugly. Yeah. These are the same types of shows he was complaining about in the first video. Guys, you're watching CP. Keep sharing online, still sending over high schoolers.
I think. Of course, you definitely don't need to be a loser to enjoy Otegyaru. It really isn't that deep. It's just fun to watch. But I will be real, if y'all watch my video reacting to Spring 2026 anime, I was not a very big fan of this show off of first impressions. Because when you watch the first episode, it's like, oh brother, just another wish fulfillment rom-com. But Otegyaru is just so inoffensive and so perfectly basic, it just works. Normally you compare a...
Wow, it's almost... Oh my god.
Trashy anime to eating junk food. Like, you know, McDonald's sucks, but you eat it because it's cheap and it's good for what it is. I wouldn't even say Otegyaru is like junk food. It's like whatever you have for breakfast in the morning. Just what do you have to eat to start your day? You don't think about it that much. There's no...
Okay, so the show is good and it's not...
No possible way it can piss you off. Like, you gotta eat in the morning before you run off to work or whatever. So the food is just food. That's what Otegyaru is. And you know, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So maybe Otegyaru is the most important anime of the season. Sorry, Witch Hat Atelier. Sorry, ReZero season...
Wow, Witch Sims for Witch Hat, of course. And this guy even trying not to contradict himself for once. This is some insane levels of cognitive dissonance. I'll shit on some of these other ones. Like, as far as pure cognitive dissonance go, this guy's the worst, easily.
4, get the fuck out of the way, because the streets are standing Kei, Amane, and Kotoko Ijichi. Which one is your favorite? Comment down below.
Being shamed by his Asian ancestors as we are watching. Fuck. I don't know. What type of Asian is he? I don't know. I can't really... He doesn't look Japanese, so... It's probably Chinese, actually. A bit of a red flag.
You have a favorite PNG image of San Antonio Spurs superstar Victor Wembanyama?
Nah, they both look like very uninteresting characters.
Yeah, you're right. They are.
They are, but the show's still good for some reason.
But again, that doesn't make the show bad. I would say that...
Okay, so... It's garbage, wish fulfillment, loser shit, and the characters are boring, but the show's not bad. Isn't Witch Hat that astroturfed anime? Yes, very astroturfed. Indonesian Malay? Who fucking knows? He did more or less advocate that you turn your brain off watching anime earlier. Meanwhile, he talked about media literacy while specifically watching things he deems problematic. Like, yeah, what the hell is this guy going on about?
That Otegyaru is a perfect execution of this formula, and it doesn't really add anything to it to make it special, but it also doesn't do anything horribly stupid to make it bad. Now,
I mean, it does add one thing, okay? It does add in, all right, the polygamy element, all right? It adds in the thruple, since he does double the love interests. I see why he doesn't want people to use big words. Gotta have a counter for every contradiction he makes. Fuck, yeah.
I haven't read the manga, so I don't know how all that goes, but I'm just going off the anime. Yeah, you know, there's a charm in watching as a third-party observer, not self-inserting and just seeing all the goofy stuff that happens, just all the heartwarming moments, all the fun jokes that they have sometimes, and in a really weird multiple-layer meta sense. While it's fun for an otaku to fantasize about what it'd be like to have a hot girl be into them, it's also fun to fantasize about being an otaku fantasizing about what it'd be like to have hot girls interested in me.
What the fuck?
Right? Okay, so we talked about Otegyaru, and I think it's a perfectly fine show. I would recommend it if you want to watch something on the TV while folding your laundry or something. But now let's talk about the other show that I want to feature in this video. I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class.
Now, I don't know, should I haven't seen this show, so I'm not sure if I should even react to it. Maybe just a little bit.
Or again, Kuranika. This is a show that I'm reacting to episode by episode on Patreon. Shameless plug, it's $5 to get access to a bunch of reactions on there. You obviously don't have to, but I mean, don't you want to help pay for another bottle? I actually don't.
Bro, who the hell is giving this guy money on Patreon?
Drink anymore. The doctor said I was developing fatty liver disease, so yeah. Everyone who was expecting me to binge drink for Steel Ball Run, I hate to disappoint you, but that ain't happening. But yeah, Kuranika. While Otegyaru is just a good show, it's fine, it's good, it's whatever. I think Kuranika is a so bad it's good show. This anime is
so bad it's
fucking
good.
Terrible. Like, it's embarrassing to watch. But it's also one of my favorite shows from this season. Because let's look at the anatomy of it, you know.
Fuck. This is like... Man, this is like the fucking Giguk thing. Giguk did permanent damage to fucking the anime community, man. Alright, he's like, oh, it's the worst show of the season, but I love it. Fuck. Was even post on Patreon reactions, apparently.
Well, this is the premise of the show. Kuranika is about this boring otaku dweeb with no friends who loves B-movies. He finds out that the titular second prettiest girl in his class, who is just the hottest girl ever, she's perfect and everyone loves her and she'd never associate with a weirdo otaku, is
simping for more high schoolers, alright. Never associate with the loser. This is what's kind of so retarded about it. Fuck, these guys are insane.
Into the same stuff he is, and thus a friendship blossoms between the two, and perhaps a secret romance too.
No, she says, you know, he says that.
He is, and thus.
But, I mean, honestly, I don't think she's that. I guess she is technically supposed to be super cute, but it's not like the other guy is super ugly or anything. I mean, he looks like a pretty boy. You know, in Japan, pretty boys are actually very popular. Screw Giguk for overcomplicating fate. Yeah, oh yeah, he really is trying to mimic Giguk. I hate and love this thing on repeat times 1,000. That's 7 contradictions, fuck.
So friendship blossoms between the two, and perhaps a secret romance too. And also, she's friends with this white woman, who is the #1 prettiest girl, and for some reason she's interested in Mr. Otaku. She's friends with this white woman, who is the #1 prettiest girl, and for some reason she's interested in Mr. Otaku too. And of course, she's just the hottest girl ever, she's perfect and everyone loves her, she'd never associate with a weirdo otaku. Oh my
bro, fuck. Oh my god.
God, I can't believe she's talking to me. Wow, don't you wish this could happen in real life? Are you feeling the dopamine hit? Yeah, that's the plot, right? You know, it's literally the same thing as Otegyaru and all these other self-insert wish fulfillment stories. But even if it is the same thing we've seen before, there are so many bizarre, baffling decisions made in this show that make it so that you can't stop watching. If Otegyaru was like a normal breakfast, then Kuranika is like trying a foreign dish for the first time. And you know, it's kind of weird, like you don't know what it is you're really even eating and you're not really sure if you like it or not, but you keep trying it because you're like, I think I like this. Maybe this is good. Because here's the thing, and this is heavy spoilers for Kuranika, just so you know. The dynamic between the lead, Maki Maehara, and the female lead, Umi Asanagi, is actually pretty well done and fun.
Wow, so the show's good, even though you just said it's dog shit.
Fun to watch. They have good chemistry, they're believable as friends, and their dialogue is fun to watch. I've compared it to watching Mai and Sakata go back and forth in Bunny Girl Senpai. But it's like,
okay, so it actually is well written, the characters are well developed, so it's not just self-insert slop, okay.
Like the great value version, and Sakata isn't a huge loser like Maehara is. But the big character drama that goes on is that Asanagi is the titular second prettiest girl in class, right? And because of that, she develops an inferiority complex towards Yu Amami, the prettiest girl in class. Even though
more he breaks it down, the more it just sounds like every other Hollywood movie he says they should be more like, except... I mean, that's another thing. I mean, look, people bitch about this stuff, but, you know, if you compare, you know, even the most, like, generic anime to, you know, this kind of stuff from other mediums, like, it's way more by the books in other mediums.
They're best friends, right?
You know, like, literally every female romance novel follows, like, a very similar formula. There's, like, two, you know, main skeletons. With Hollywood, the effeminate lame male is humiliated and mocked, and the anime effeminate lame male is empathized and humanized. You know, actually, good point. The whole thing is that anime is very unapologetically, you know, made for the target audience. For these shows, it's made for you know, men, for a male audience, right? So, you know, you just get those kinds of stuff, but, you know, meanwhile, Hollywood, it's all feminist bullshit. You know, even going back decades, you still have those themes.
All of their friends are really there for Amami, and they don't really give a fuck about her. All the boys like her, and she starts getting close with Maihara, too. Because even though Asanagi and Maihara become friends, they keep it a secret because... I don't know why. So Amami becomes friends with Maihara on her own, not knowing that he's already friends with Asanagi. And the reason they become friends is because he got mad at her for inviting him to hang out in an arcade. And I guess she thought that was cool or something. So those two start getting close, and Asanagi is like, oh shit, it's happening again. She's always taking everything that's mine. I finally have this boy who shares the same weirdo interest as me. I'm comfortable around him. He's interested in me. I have fun with him. And here comes Amami to take him away.
Wow, it's... Okay, it's called drama, man.
Always second place to her. This is a legitimately interesting character conflict. And it made me say while I was reacting, see, this is the character. She should have been the main character. This is like a character arc. This is a conflict. She feels insecure. Like, that's her homegirl, but like she's insecure about it. Oh my god, this might have been a god level anime if she was the main character. And
oh my god.
This dweeb was like actually somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody worth fighting over.
Bro, this is Patreon tier content. Definitely not getting your money's worth, I'll say that much. Fuck.
Yeah, like, who cares about what this dude has to say about all this? Like, what is... We don't care, bro. Like, we want to see her perspective on this.
Okay, so now we are getting her perspective on it. This guy seems like he's just self-loathing at this point. In many such cases, I paid $20 for this. Now, a lot of these guys kind of just are sort of, you know, for them, it oftentimes is a guilty pleasure, you know?
Okay, see, this is the most interesting character stuff. Well, like, why would they not have made... I know why they didn't. Because all of this goes outside of the realm of self-insert fantasy. Oh, how...
Look, bro, if you want a romance with a female protagonist, ever heard of fucking shoujo?
Girls want to get with me and, oh, they like the same things I like. Oh my god, man.
Look, you know, here's one thing. You know, as a creative, you are limited by whatever demographic you are trying to target it to, you know? So it's the whole thing, like, you can't do, like, look, you could do a romance targeted towards men from the female, from a, you know, with a female protagonist or main character. But, you know, that's a much nicher audience. It's going to be a lot harder to pull off, so. He just really dislikes men, yeah. Makes these videos as a way to excuse himself for actually enjoying them for the same reasons he scolds other guys. Yeah, exactly. He said that Mushoku Tensei was like Diddy-ass blood CP, so he can definitely just binge watch the whole thing now, right? Does he hate himself then? Yeah.
Fuck all that. Now you're watching like legit character drama happen. And you know, of course, no doubt we all know that other rom-com stories have these things. If you look at some of the best rom-com shows of the past few years, there's always this type of interpersonal drama that makes things interesting. But what makes Kuranika different is all these little weird decisions that make you think, huh? At least 5 times an episode. Oh, nah, yeah, now you're getting too comfortable. We cool, but we not that cool.
Okay, bro. All these weird-ass decisions, and it's a girl falling asleep on the guy's bed. Okay, this is the most fucking milquetoast romance shit in the world. One of those people who thinks only he is capable of critically consuming problematic content. Yeah, he's the arbiter. Alright.
Thank you. Reasonable response. What? Did somebody cast like a sleep spell or something? Motherfucking Jigglypuff in there.
Holy
Why did he just like literally pass out like that though? Why are these characters doing that? What is happening?
Oh, fuck. I don't know, because she's cute. Because it's cute, because she feels comfortable enough around him to sleep around him. I don't fucking know, bro.
Why did she say that? Why did he do that? It's so insane. It's amazing. That's what makes it so bad.
This guy would have like an actual fucking heart attack if he watched Ori Emo or Arrow Manga Sensei or something, I swear. Utterly harmless trope where a cute girl falls asleep in your room. That's problematic. That's the thing. It's like, oh, this is the craziest show of the entire fucking season. A girl fell asleep on the guy's bed. Oh my fucking god. Can we ban people like him from anime fucking please? This guy just being a normal guy admiring a cute girl. What the F is the problem? Fuck. You know, isn't fucking, you know, Mistress Kanon is airing right now. Okay, that is a lot more unhinged than this fucking shit. What the hell? Yeah, I need to target women and make real wholesome content free of problematic themes like Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey. It's actually weird for that. It could have a triple concussion and have more coherent thought process. No girl is safe falling asleep around him so he can relate. Oh my god.
It's good. It's like watching Love Island or something. One of those trashy reality TV shows. I remember back in the day, I used to really like watching Jersey Shore for some reason.
How the fuck is he comparing this to fucking trashed reality TV?
I get the same feeling watching Kuronika. It's like...
Okay, he's comparing that to a romantic scene where a girl falls asleep on a guy's bed.
Jersey Shore. It's just like, you know, what the fuck am I watching? But yeah, that brings me back to the larger point of anime targeted towards losers, because Kuronika is still that. It just has all this other stuff piled on top of it.
Oh yeah, it's still targeted towards losers, even though it has such a good story, apparently.
Male lead is still just a boring blank slate with nothing really going on with him, so you can definitely still watch this as a self-insert.
We'll have to see about that. Look, they say that, but there's usually more there. Like, even in Nagatoro, I mean, Senpai... I mean, he has, like, even a bit of an arc there,
fantasy
right?
Of, wow, imagine getting a hot girl you can hang out with, like one of the bros, and even though you have no friends, she and her even hotter friend will stick up for you when people try to pick on you. Because look...
Man, Gen Z is so cooked. They think any emotion and romance and exposure feelings is lame and loser problematic. Bro, what am I watching? This is crazy. Yeah. Fuck. You know, honestly, it's kind of crazy. You know, because I always think about Ori Emo, alright? And Ori Emo is a harem show where a guy wins the hearts of, like, 5 girls just by being nice, you know? And, you know, that's, so problematic, right?
I have a daughter that's entering around that...
Where's the horror moments and hype edits? Wait.
Middle school age, so she will stick up for you when people try to pick on you. Because look, I have a daughter that's entering around that middle school age, so she's a little bit younger, and to my surprise, a lot of the 12, 13...
There's no way this guy is, like, 40 plus. Okay, is he? I know Asians are really neotenous, but holy fuck, bro. Are you actually making this shit as, like, a 40, 50-year-old man?
14-year-old boys at her school are watching this anime, according to what she tells me. I don't know. None of them are probably anything like the main character in this anime. So what enjoyment can, you know, a normal little boy who is probably the target age demographic of the show, honestly, what can they even get out of something like this? Well,
you just said that there's good story moments and that there's, like, funny stuff. Like, what? Damn that Asian gene shit.
Well, it's what I said earlier about either put...
So is he actually divorced then? Oh yeah, we're all the losers, but this dude is divorced. You know, and I'll say this much, most manga creators and whatnot, we don't really know about their personal lives, but a lot of them are happily married. You know, like the Nekopara author, married woman, No Game No Life author, also married, I'm pretty sure. Fuck. Man, this contradiction are really piling up.
Putting yourself in the shoes of a loser and having fun with the fantasy from there, or just watching to enjoy the drama from an outsider perspective. Or...
And look, I mean, look, and let's be real here, most of the time these characters aren't even really losers, okay? Being shy is different from being a loser. Wouldn't they get a good example of how to act? Saying, imagine that we can identify with and empathize with a wide spectrum of characters even as kids. You know, keep in mind, anime fans, a lot of these otakus also love, you know, the Chad characters, you know. Jotaro Kujo is awesome. Alright, and he's like a Giga Chad, or whatever the Japanese equivalent would be.
And this is where I'm at. watching to enjoy the dumpster fire. I think a lot of people get hung up on watching shows like this because they think, well, I'm not a loser without any friends who's desperate for girls to like them, so why would I watch?
Bro, you couldn't even keep your wife around.
And that makes a lot of sense, but like I said, my whole point is that there's a lot of enjoyment you can get out of stuff like this that's unrelated to all that fantasy stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's really not that deep. It's just a cartoon. Think about all the weirdo media that's out there that's perfectly fine for you to just watch and enjoy, and it's whatever. It doesn't say anything about you as a person, for the most part. Personally,
for the most part,
I think Kuronika would be one of those shows that would be good to put on in the background. When you got a bunch of people over, and then once in a while, people will tune in and laugh at whatever nonsense is going on screen. But that's where Otagyaru...
It's so crazy. There's no way this guy is real. Man, I remember when anime had like the reputation of all this crazy shit going on all the time, and this guy is bringing up, and as an example of the crazy shit, he's bringing up, the most basic romantic scenario imaginable. Be cool to see a few more Chad characters in anime, but I think they are including them a bit more often, and typically they make good comedy too because they're not super egotistical. I mean, Chad characters are cool, but Light would actually be another good example of kind of a Chad character. He's not quite a Chad, but he is like an alpha male in, his high school, right? Because he's handsome, he's, honor student, he's smart, his dad is, well respected. But, from a story perspective, having a Chad character doesn't really work super well. It's better. Other archetypes are a lot better. Like, even in Jotaro's case, Jotaro's a delinquent. Why does he have so much ire for these supposed loser guys? No empathy, no advice, not just you're losers, what you like is bad, you should feel bad, yeah? What was the point of this video? It was just to talk about these... I guess the point is that these romance anime are made for losers, but it's okay to watch them, I guess. Yeah, I'm watching it for a different reason. I'm different from you guys. Yeah, bro, these people watching anime and trying to take some high ground actual clowns. Go focus on the custody, bud. That's why he's making these videos. That's what the Patreon grift is for. He needs to pay the alimony.
Good. I don't know. Maybe just enjoy that one on your own. Like I said, it's a little too tame and normal to be all that entertaining in a group. There's not much to get out of it. But I do want to reiterate that I think they're worth watching. I would recommend that you go check out these anime. That's all I got for the video, though. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment below what you think.
What the hell?
And Kuronika, and consider donating to Patreon for access to full...
Also, he's got a cross on, which is kind of weird. Does that mean he's Korean? I know a lot of Koreans are Christian.
Uncut reactions. What do you think about that PNG image of San Antonio Spurs superstar Victor Wembanyama?
Well, you've made a lot.
Yeah. It's no wonder he doesn't like gatekeeping. I'm sure the people he's constantly calling losers don't want him in their space. Yeah, no kidding. To be fair, I've seen a shocking amount of dark-skinned women online simping for the main self-insert guy from Nagatoro and drawing fan art of him, though some of it might be ironic. You'd be surprised. Have you ever seen those nerdy white guy with a attractive black woman meme or something? You can make one good if the Chad has to struggle. Would probably be harder for a series set in modern day, but a hero story is basically a Chad story. Yeah. There's ways you could do it for sure. But, you got to think about even, like, a lot of the genres that are popular, like shonen or, even, like, romances, right? They identify with Nagatoro's strong and independent personality. Also, as a TF2, what YouTuber called it, the underdog effect, where you end up rooting for what could be considered the bottom tier, in this case, the loser. Yeah, that's a part of it. It's the whole thing, stories, it's sort of about conflict, right? So you want a character who has some kind of problem, whether that be like a lower social status or is, weaker in some way. So having like a Chad, by default, kind of gets rid of that to an extent. Was that from Zesty Jesus? Fuck, who knows? We'll save this for next time, but I'm curious. Oh, wait. He's finally talking about the lolly question here. Let's settle the most controversial anime debate. Let's summarize it with AI real quick. Well, see, these people won't be happy until they make more anime with ugly women, that's it. Lame man, lame fantasy, cool guy, power fantasy, yeah. Sexualized depiction of underage characters in anime. Keep in mind, in the last video, he was simping for underage characters. He framed the discussion around whether such depictions are morally acceptable, distinct from the question of their legality, Video breaks down the argument into two opposing perspectives before offering a personal stance. Just fiction, as they wish, artistic, cultural relativism. So he spends 7 minutes on the pro side and then 16 on the against. Okay, so he's got this bullshit here. Oh my fucking god, bro. Yeah, listen to the fucking non-lawyer about American and Japanese law, fucking idiot. While depicting violence in art is a way to explore it, the creator argues that sexualizing a minor in an animation is the act of sexualization itself, rather than a depiction of an external event. What? I guess I get what he means, but that's not really how it is. The visceral, negative emotional response to these depictions is just an intuitive understanding that they are wrong, regardless of their fictional nature. Oh yeah, but if I say I'm disgusted by, you know, two men kissing, oh no, homosexuality is totally natural, nothing wrong with that at all. He believes these depictions are immoral in principle. He characterizes them as a lower level of immorality. He rejects the idea that fiction has no impact on reality, but argues that mature, educated individuals can consume such media without their own morality being compromised. So he's straight up saying that this is, you know, diddy-ass pedo blood shit, but it's totally fine for him to watch it because he's an enlightened individual who can, you know, consume it critically. He maintained his commitment to creating content about a wide range of anime. Holy shit. Demo Night TF2 guy. Left chat for a minute. What did I miss? Not much, man. Fuck, so I guess we'll have to talk. This shit is so fucking long. Okay, we'll talk about that some other time. Fuck, though. The whole thing is that this is dumb because, okay, does he just talk about lollies or is it all underage characters? Because there's a shit ton of that in anime. The fuck is he bringing up? Let's see, what else does he bring up? Howl's Moving Castle? Man, well, whatever, I guess, pro side. At least he brings up Archive of Our Own, okay? He's shitting on otakus for being losers. As if the fucking women on AO3 don't write the most fucked up shit that's ever even been imagined. Yeah, rules for thee. I don't know, it's pretty fucking stupid, this whole thing, but whatever. What was the other one I had? Let's talk about anime tourists. I think maybe we'll watch this one and then the Rev video and then close it for the day. Because I do want to watch the Rev video.
Dame. Let's talk about anime tourists. Y'all know I'm old as fuck, so I just found out what this term was like.
So apparently he is old. What the fuck?
A week ago. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it because it relates to the larger conversation of gatekeeping in art. Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah, smut is never a thing for this guy's eyes, yeah?
Who knows? Spoiler alert, the answer's a lot more nuanced than that.
It's nuanced. Are you going to talk about Rev? I'll do it after this video, and then I'll probably end the stream because it's getting kind of late. Is he in his 30s? Like late 40s or 50s? Maybe. My Minotaur milking farm is cool, though, yeah. That's peak literature.
So yeah, this video was prompted by a bunch of people telling me about a different video that came out recently by these guys called The Anime Man. It started with one
wow. Man, that was a good arc.
Person commenting on my last video and then like dozens of people DMing me on.
Look, he says he's been watching anime since the 80s and then he says that he's divorced and has 2 daughters. So, he's got to be up there.
Twitter. But it took me like a week to see it because y'all know I don't be checking my Twitter DMs. Basically, the gist of this video is that these guys ranked the most popular anime of every year based on watching the first episode. And they said some things that got...
Also, keep in mind, by the way, the original title wasn't this. It was, we ranked the most popular anime of every year, something like that. The first episode thing was added later after Backlash. And also, the way they, you know, frame the video... They frame it as if they're ranking the shows, not just the first episode.
People up in arms, and if you look at the comments, mostly what you'll see are people calling them tourists. Now, I don't know who the Anime Men are. They have like over 4 million subs, so obviously people like them, but I'm gonna be real, I don't watch anyone on YouTube besides my friends, so I'm not hip to the...
Holy fucking shit. Quite the crew. Quite the crew.
Popular creators out there. But that being said, I didn't really have a problem with their video. So what?
How the fuck did you not have a problem with it? Their video was pure fucking cancer. Even other tourists, like Mother's Basement, shat on them, I'm pretty sure.
They didn't like Astro Boy. I bet 99% of the people complaining and commenting didn't watch it either. Sure.
And look, the whole point about something like that is if you make a video where you talk about the entire history of anime, people expect you to actually respect the entire history of anime. Okay?
I understand that people are mostly mad that they didn't respect the medium, which is true, and it's pretty whack, but it's not like a crime. From what all...
Fuck. Not a tourist, by the way. Yeah, just let these grifters completely shit on, you know, anime and its entire history. Who cares, right?
All of y'all were telling me, I thought they dropped slurs or something, or were acting a fool out in Japan, like Americans are known to do, which is...
Oh my god. It'd be less offensive if they drop slurs.
You know, actually problematic.
Mother's Basement is still around, unfortunately, yes.
So they said some dumb stuff about anime, so what? Yeah, they were obnoxious and acting...
Yeah, saying dumb stuff about anime...
like assholes, but I do the same thing and I get...
Being obnoxious and acting like an asshole... It's all tourist behavior.
Get away with it. Kind of. I actually did a video with a similar premise once upon a time, and I got cooked for being too elitist, too pretentious. So whether you dick ride shonens or glaze your favorite niche ecchi harem that only 12 people outside of Japan have even seen, either way, someone's gonna hate on you. But like I said, that video by the Anime Man was only the catalyst that got me thinking about the broader topic.
Let's just ignore the pissed carpet and continue pissing on it, yeah.
Of anime tourism. Because that's definitely a phrase that's thrown around a lot today, especially on Twitter. Ugh. So what does it mean? Is there any merit to calling someone an anime tourist? And is gatekeeping in general something we should be doing as an anime community? We're gonna answer all of those questions today, so let's get into it. So people define an anime tourist as someone who is literally just passing through, meaning they have a casual interest in the medium and don't really understand it beyond what is popular and mainstream.
That's not actually what it means, okay? Tourist in terms of hobbies is someone who engages with it not because they actually like it, but, you know, because it's trendy. It's someone who doesn't actually care about the hobby they're engaging with.
Also, it's worth noting that this isn't an exclusive term to anime. It's used for video games, hip-hop, movies, sports, whatever. Now, if you watch this channel even a little bit, I'm sure you can already guess what my take on all of this is. I agree with it 100%. If you can't tell me the title of every single Detective Conan episode, perform every Naruto hand sign, and recite the number of times the phrase "Onamae wa nan desu ka" is said in every Ghibli movie, you're a casual, normie tourist that needs to be banished from the anime community post-haste. Obviously not. That's very stupid, but it's more nuanced than you think. If you
well, let's hear the nuance from the nuance bro over here who thinks it's acceptable to consume pedophilic media.
If you like something, you're a fan. That's it. The debate over who is a...
If you like something, you're a fan. The thing is that anime tourists don't actually like anime. You know, which is why they bitch about it 24/7.
True anime fan is pretty arbitrary. It's like that whole no true Scotsman fallacy. Because first of all, who decides where the threshold is? Who determines the criteria for what a true anime fan is?
Real anime fans who actually care about it.
I'm sure if I ask y'all to comment below what makes a real anime fan, I'm gonna get 100 different answers, all thinking that their definition is the right one.
You do realize you're a tourist with a channel full of tourists.
Does watching a lot of anime make you a real anime fan? I've watched more anime than literally anyone I know, which isn't something to be proud of, by the way. And I don't think that makes me any kind of authority or anything. I know people who have literally only watched a single anime series, but they're way more passionate and knowledgeable about it than I am about the loads of dog shit that I've watched.
What? Whatever.
Does having knowledge...
So is he just admitting that he's not even very passionate about anime or something? Whatever.
...of Japanese culture...
This is the goofy thing, okay? He's grabbing his, like, straw man Twitter, tweet, okay? That has 253 views and 13 likes, okay? This is the rock solid. At least go to fucking Urban Dictionary, bro. Come on. Real anime fan can enjoy the anime without needing to be part of a Twitter discussion surrounding the show all week long between each episode, yeah.
Make you a...
Hyperbole, aren't I quirky and funny? Haha, dude really acts like he cares about the medium while saying he doesn't care. He gets turned into Hollywood, and the community turns to ass, yeah.
Real anime fan. This is something that gets thrown around on Twitter a lot. People will say, oh, you don't understand the intricacies of this particular aspect of Japanese culture. That's why you don't like XYZ anime. They'll say that not liking fan...
Look, that's an important part about it, okay? People forget that anime is Japanese, and that to truly appreciate anime, you do actually need to understand some parts of Japanese culture. Like, honorifics are probably... the best example of this, but there's a lot of things like that. Especially when you start getting, you know, these kinds of, you know, woke tourists who fucking have to interpret everything through a fucking American political lens.
Service or harem.
The proof is that before social media, these people simply didn't exist and never tried to insert themselves into any forms of nerd culture ever before. Yeah, very good point, okay? This whole tourist epidemic is a completely modern thing, all right? You know, before fucking trends on social media, before easy access, yeah.
Or lolly stuff makes you a tourist because according to them, these things make anime what it is.
That's true, by the way. You know, a lot of anime is because of, you know, lolicon. You know, the whole concept of moe exists because of lolicon, all right? Basically, the entire industry either condones or supports it. You know, you can get even deeper.
Yeah, that's not true. No one thing is inherent to anime that's like a ubiquitous defining trait. Except maybe the fact that it has to be Japanese, but even that's not really the case.
Okay, so now anime doesn't have to be Japanese. And I mean, look, you can say that, like, not every, like, trope or whatever needs to be part of it, but that's still important it's still an important part of the overall culture, okay? You know, hamburgers are still American food, even if not every single American eats hamburgers. All right. You know, it's
no art style or trope or concept that has to be present, otherwise you can't call the show an anime. Sure, anime is known to have a lot of stuff like big mechs, scantily clad high school girls, and shooting giant energy beams out of your hands. But there are plenty of shows without those things, and they're still anime. And also, for the people that say, well, things like...
Well, look, it's still all a part of anime culture, and some of it is a lot more prevalent than others, making it more important to anime culture. Okay?
Lolicon are just part of Japanese culture, so you have to be okay with that to watch anime. I don't know about that. Yeah, it's...
Oh, yeah. You know, keep in mind, when you watch Spy Family, all right, you know, you're giving money to the people who literally think it's acceptable to make hentai of Anya, okay? And if you consider that CP, you are condoning, you know, you are paying the people who condone and allow CP to be produced and sold for profit, if that's your perspective. Dude would go to a sushi restaurant, order pizza, then act like everyone else is the problem. Fucking hell, yeah. That's like calling Hollywood doesn't have to be Hollywood, yeah.
True that, in general, some people over there may be more lax, but the age of consent in Tokyo is still 18, so if you ran up to someone on the street and showed them your favorite hentai scene...
This is a completely false equivalency, okay? You're talking about fiction versus reality.
A 12-year-old getting... and... with... on...
Holy, hurry up, bro.
It'd be pretty weird, just like anywhere else. And
look, bro, you're not funny. And first of all, Japan as a whole, Japanese normies tolerate lolicon. That's why there's not mass protests outside of Comiket. That's why there's never been like a big movement or a successful movement to actually ban it. All right? Like, obviously they'd be weirded out, I guess. But people would be weirded out if you just showed them any random piece of porn, you know? In Japan, you'll have billboards with fucking lollies and swimsuits on them, and Japanese normies are just like, it's otaku shit, who cares?
No, the fact that you know what itadakimasu means, or the difference between ne and ni, doesn't make you any better than any other fan of anime. Now,
Fuck. Okay, so you don't even need... Whatever, man.
It is true that having some level of respect for the art that a culture produces is very important, especially if you're not from that particular culture, but that's also on a case-by-case basis. If you claim to be a fan of anime, but you're like vehemently racist towards Japanese people, yeah, I'm gonna look at you crazy, but...
It's ironic how he says that, because it's usually the tourists who are vehemently racist towards Japanese people, you know? Like, this isn't, obviously this is Korean, but the recent Stellar Blade drama, everyone's like, Evie looks like a freaking child. No, she doesn't. She looks like an Asian woman. All right? And you just don't understand Asian beauty standards.
If you don't like Rurouni Kenshin because you don't like katana fights, I mean, that's not that big of a deal as long as you're not a dick about it. But are there situations...
Runs up to stranger. Here's my favorite BL doujin. I'm sure people would react the same crazy. That's the thing. Okay? You know, it's like, I've seen, here's another one, you know? It's like, you know, this stuff isn't socially acceptable in the first place. You know, it being lolly or whatever is completely irrelevant. He has several different problems with the Japanese culture, though, yeah.
Where someone really is an anime tourist and therefore should be barred for participating in a particular anime community. Let's talk about that, yeah? Let's transition into talking about gatekeeping in general. Me personally, I absolutely hate the idea of gatekeeping. The idea...
The South Asians are racist and hate everyone anyways, yeah.
Of art in general is that it's supposed to be a universal experience that everyone can enjoy. So
wait.
Let's talk about that, yeah. Let's transition into talking about gatekeeping in general. Me personally, I absolutely hate the idea of gatekeeping. The idea of art in general is that it's supposed to be a universal experience that everyone can enjoy. So
you're an actual fucking retarded troglodyte. Literal fucking Philistine. Art is not supposed to be enjoyed by everyone. No actual true piece of art is made for everyone. Okay? Art is made for, you know, specific target audiences, but it's no piece of real art is genuinely made to please everybody. Art is supposed to offend people in many cases. How is... This guy is fucked in the head, I swear. Like, holy shit. You know, oh my... Are you serious, man? And I mean, look, you can get even further. If we're talking specifically about Japan... You know, a lot of Japanese media, it's hard for Westerners or other people to really enjoy it because of a lot of the Japanese-isms that exist. And this isn't even just anime. I would say it applies even more so to, you know, other pieces of art. Fuck, he needs to be gatekept. No fucking kidding. Not just from anime, from fucking anything.
Putting arbitrary barriers to entry is just a very strange concept to me. Now, it is true that not all...
Look, this guy is just a complete fucking soy consumer, okay? And I mean, look, it's not even just about anime at this point, okay? He's just attacking the very concept of art.
Art is made for everybody. Not all art has that general mass appeal. But it's the idea of needing acceptance into a community or the recognition of others to be called a true fan.
Look, anybody can watch anime, okay? It's pretty accessible these days, but the whole thing is gatekeeping a community is different from gatekeeping the medium itself or the art itself. He's right, we should all be allowed to drink at whatever age. Art with mass appeal isn't art. Yeah, exactly. It's all just soulless slop. Pseudo-intellectual BS anime content creators are the worst, yeah.
That's the wild part for me. Like, imagine getting into the Fate series for the first time, and you really like Fate Zero, and you get gatekept by the Fate community because you started with, like, you know, the most basic anime and never played the visual novel. Therefore, you are not a real Fate fan.
Well, look, to be fair, I mean, I'm not an expert in Fate, but the original, you know... I mean, look, the original, like, the actual true route in Fate, as far as I know, hasn't even been adapted into a proper anime, because I heard the original one is kind of shit, but... I still don't get how these people are so self-righteous. If I don't like something, as long as it isn't destroying society, I just avoid it. Yeah, it's one of those art should be comforted. Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comforted, but should never disturb me in particular. That's a good one. All you have to do is being standard fan... Literally never happened. Stay Night was crazy. This hypothetical gatekeeping scenario he's complaining about literally doesn't happen. Yeah, that's the whole thing. They always have to make up these fucking fairy tale scenarios.
Oh no, you haven't been acknowledged as a real Fate fan. How does that practically affect you?
Stay Night is the best route, yeah.
Does all Fate anime just disappear from existence? Only
some of the Fate titles never left the visual novels, yeah.
For you, like you got region blocked or something. Can you...
And look, another thing with Fate, I mean, look, would you say somebody is a true... Like, let's put it this way, right? Like, would you say someone is, like, a fan of a book because they read the movie? Or, no, because they watched the movie, right? I mean, you wouldn't really say that. You can say they're a fan of the movie. But, you know, there's obviously a difference between that. And, you know, Fate is still built on the original visual novel. So to be a real Fate fan, yeah, you kind of do have to play it. Oh, hey, Petrick. What's up?
You no longer buy a Rintos...
Or, yeah.
Saga action figures at the store, like you go to Akihabara and they refuse to sell you any. You can still just like Fate Zero, you know, the one anime you watched.
Yeah, just be a Fate Zero fan. Don't try and go into the greater Fate community and try to police it. Use the Lord of the Rings as reference. Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. Who's this goofball on screen, lol? Apparently he's like some 40, 50-year-old divorced man who, you know, thinks anime's la heckin' problematic and otakus are all losers.
You being gatekept doesn't affect you in a meaningful way. I guess you could say that you may be prevented from interacting with the community, and you know that's a big part of the fun of getting into different anime. But chances
a lot of these fans just read the wiki and act like experts on the series, yeah.
You'll be able to find some part of the community that doesn't give...
Never once in my life had an anime fan tell me I'm not a real fan for not enjoying the OG except for Dragon Ball boomers. Everyone just wants you to watch the cool show or read cool manga. Persona 5 fan, why am I not surprised? Lol, yeah, every time.
Well, fuck that you only watched Fate Zero, because, you know... that's like how normal people act. I don't think there's any actual merit or any real rhyme or reason to why people gatekeep. Like, if there was some...
What the fuck, anyways? Anime isn't even well adapted. It misses a lot of character writing. There needs to be standards for fandoms. Being a real fan is doing your best to consume everything you can as well. If you're a real fan, you're just going to be happy watching an anime that cuts 70% of the content. Yeah, that's another thing with, like, Fate, right? Never liked a small aspect of the larger anime or gaming fandom and been part gatekept. Also not toxic, the main part of the fandom, yeah.
I don't think there's any actual merit or any real rhyme or reason to why people gatekeep. Like,
yeah, no rhyme or reason to gatekeeping. It's crazy. You can go to Twitter right now and see why gatekeeping should be done. Just look at the fucking Uma Musume fandom. Or look at, like, the My Hero Academia fandom, what it used to be. Alright? So, you know, especially now, you know, because, you know, these kinds of people, sometimes they'll mention toxic fandoms. Want to know how you stop toxic fandoms from being created? By gatekeeping, okay? Because the most toxic individuals have very clear signs often.
If there was some standard that everyone could agree on that actually made sense, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, I can see that. But y'all know that's never gonna happen. And let's just be completely frank here. A lot of the times, the intentions behind gatekeeping are just to keep people you don't like out of your little fandoms.
That's kind of the whole fucking point, actually. How the anime community became bad? Well, vocalizers, hoodweebs, those who think trap is transphobic, those who think lolicon is pedophilia, anime tourists, blackwashers, those who think fanservice is sexist, those who police content they don't like, and art fixers. The whole thing is that this meme is just completely true.
We all...
You can only have ever watched Naruto and be a true fan, so long as you respect the author's intention, don't cry about Japanese culture and anime and manga and anime. Yeah, Anita spotted. Heckin' gatekeeping is meant to gatekeep. Problematic. Yeah, it is, always is.
I have seen a situation where a woman tries to get involved in some community and she gets hit with the, oh, you're an anime fan? Name every anime ever or you're a fraud.
And he says woman when in reality he's talking about, you know, feminists. Because feminists are the only people who actually get shit, or the only women who get shit for being in anime communities.
And of course, there's another gatekeeping term that I hate that I'm aware of now. Hoodweebs. I could have gone my whole life without knowing that this dumbass idea existed, but I guess...
Dumbass idea, as if it's not a real phenomenon.
That's what I get for being on Twitter. If y'all don't know, this is like a dog whistle phrase that people use to refer to black anime fans.
Dog whistle? The term is hoodweeb. What the fuck? Could you make it any more blatant?
It's a form of gatekeeping because certain people don't view black people as like real anime fans, so they'll stereotype them as only liking battle shonens or not understanding Japanese culture.
There's a lot like that, okay? I mean, look at all the black people who do the fucking blackwashing, you know? Or even look at the Gachi Yakuta thing. A bunch of these hoodweebs literally bullied a mangaka off the internet. Man, never been a more true meme. Speak of the devil. Well, that's funny because tourists can't even name the anime they did watch. Wish I had a nickel for every time I've heard the phrase grown-ass man. Remember they called themselves hoodweebs? Did they invent the term themselves? That's actually hilarious if true. You can be a black anime fan without being a cringe hoodweeb, yeah. Not a single real argument he was said from his mouth.
Kind of all the talking points we mentioned earlier, but directed at a specific minority. There's not a lot to say here. It's just good old-fashioned racism at work. And this is anecdotal, I know, but if y'all remember this video I dropped, growing up, I didn't know anyone besides black and Asian people watched anime here in America. It wasn't until I was an adult that I found out that white people liked it too. I'm just saying. So these are a few reasons why gatekeeping or...
All I'm saying is, according to himself, his 3 closest CC friends are black. I don't know. It's a little... I don't know, man. I think he should maybe be a little more vigilant there, you know? More racism, yup, when they attack chibi reviews, yeah?
Calling people tourists is a goofy-ass thing to do. So what if dumbass people want to put their dumbass opinions out there? You don't have to listen to them. If people who just started watching anime last week want to make the most dog shit war crime tier list that's worthy of the guillotine, just let them. Who cares? But
Bro, who cares? This is the, you know, he so often does this, like, who cares argument. It's like, oh, okay, yes, okay, there's no problem. Actually, there is a problem, but who even really cares? Okay, why do you... Okay, if you don't care about people saying, you know, retarded bullshit, then why do you care about people criticizing said retarded bullshit?
That being said, I've become like 2% more pro gatekeeping in recent years. So the next question is, are there situations where gatekeeping is a good thing?
Oh, let's see the situations.
Maybe, but I don't think gatekeeping in the traditional sense that most people...
This tweet he's bringing up has 89 fucking views. Why do they always do this? Okay, can't you at least get a tweet with some real fucking traction? At least bring up Chibi Reviews or Rev Says Desu or something. But no, you bring up the guy with 89 views. Probably like fucking 4 likes and 1 repost. Why do they care if they change the way the girl looks? No, not like that. You can't make a girl look like that. You know, keep in mind, by the way, if we combine this with his other video, you know, he celebrates anime becoming more globalized, alright? Which he also admits leads to more homogenous slop. So there's a very good reason for gatekeeping, just to stop anime from being globalized and to stop getting the fucking boring slop.
Think of it is the way to go about it. If you are problematic and have weirdo intentions, then maybe you should be barred from participating in communities. Now, let me be clear. Having bad takes is not problematic. Not liking the same characters you like is not problematic. Naming your channel The Anime Man but not knowing that Goku had a tail is not problematic. That was wild as fuck though.
Okay, fuck, oh my god. He literally has no real opinion, just says whatever is convenient for the purpose of the video. Many such cases.
I can't lie, I was trying to defend y'all, but come on. It's also not a crime to not know the complete history of anime and disrespect the medium. It's like, yeah, you're an asshole, but again, it's not a crime. You just won't get taken seriously if you're trying to be a big voice in the community. Because
yeah, that's why so many people shat on the Anime Men. Okay, because they made, look, the whole reason, the way they framed that video was that they, as if they were ranking the shows, and that's why people were so hard on them.
Again, who determines the threshold? Who determines the criteria? If we can't agree on one, then, I mean, there's no discussion to be had. What are some problems?
As fun as Freerun is, it's definitely popular because of how inoffensive it is with almost no fan service or typical anime tropes. People still found a way to make Freerun problematic, though, lol. Yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, I still think it's solid. But yeah, the most problematic part of it is the demons. Because, you know, having evil races is just, you know, racist IRL for reasons. But, you know, Marvel has to go back to making peak again, so this termites left anime medium alone. I don't know. We'll see how long the fad lasts, right? I don't know. I think it might be on its, I don't know. We just gotta wait for... Maybe Avengers Doomsday will finally, you know, grab these people's attention.
Problematic things that should cause someone to get gatekept? I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know. Thankfully, I don't run into these situations, so I haven't thought about it a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, you kind of just have to go case by case with these things. Really, it just boils down to the fact that you can literally just ignore people whose opinions bother you. You don't have to react to everyone. You don't have to give your take on any...
And, you know, keep in mind, by the way, that isn't always the case. You know, one of the reasons why you gatekeep is to keep your own community clean, you know? To actually maintain your own community, make sure it's full of good people. Because, look, if you don't actually gatekeep, then you can very easily get a very toxic fandom like the My Hero Academia fandom, or the Uma Musume fandom, or the Gachi Akuta fandom. That happens unless you gatekeep. Alright, and then what do you do then? Like, if Twitter gets completely fucked, then what, are you supposed to escape to YouTube? What about when that's taken too? You know? So there has to be some amount of gatekeeping. You know, Discord, same thing. One of the anime men don't even watch anime. You can't make this up. Yeah, that was funny. They need the Reddit bugmen to go back to their cape shit slop. They can ignore your own arguments. Just leave them be. You'll be forced to see their opinions daily. You have to gatekeep. I mean, exactly. Otherwise, you lose the entire fandom. So you actually have to gatekeep. Alright? If you do want there to be some kind of community for your thing. Now, if these people will ever truly leave, best case scenario is that they'll sit in their own echo chamber repeating the same talking points and getting bored of complaining about everything. Look, if anime loses its popularity, then it's very likely they just move on to something else, you know, just to continue the YouTube grift. You know, like with that Ina, I'm sure she would just, if anime stopped being popular and she stopped getting views, she would just go all in on Western stuff, I'm sure. She already has that video on Invincible. And then tourists themselves will point at fandoms like MHA and call them weird, even though most tourists are against gatekeeping on any level, yeah.
Unless you're me, because I feel compelled to yap about everything. The only specific example I can think of off the top of my head are like those weirdos who try to weasel their way into anime fandom so that they can creep on cosplay girls and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure y'all can...
Oh, fuck. Okay, what's he even talking about? I mean, I guess so, but... I mean, you're acting like cosplay girls aren't posting thirst traps on purpose.
Come up with more in the comments. That's all I got, though. I'm glad y'all sent those messages about this whole situation, because I've been wanting to talk about the topic of gatekeeping for a minute, and this was the...
Nah, tourists will just move on to whatever else. They do not have the attention span or desire to LARP or grift on something that doesn't bring them any attention or money. Yeah, exactly. You know, if anime stopped being popular tomorrow, I guarantee this guy would stop making anime videos. And, you know, maybe he wouldn't do it overnight, but yeah, I'm sure it'd happen. Same with all these channels. Like Inaku. Alright, she's already got, let's go latest. Okay, she already had a video about Invincible. And then just a sort of general kind of, you know, video essay thing here. That doesn't even seem to mention anime at all. Another Invincible video. But yeah, so honestly... Then more anime stuff, but actually Avatar's down here, I guess. Or actually, I guess it's a video about a show that inspired Avatar. So she's actually already kind of moving away from the anime stuff. I mean, even this video is just kind of pure drama. He hasn't provided a single example of gatekeeping in the traditional sense of upkeeping the quality of the fandom and hobby spaces. Yeah, unless they stop making safe shonen slop, it'll be a long time before anime loses its popularity. I mean, maybe. Look, if Marvel movies got better and Western media got better, I do think you would genuinely lose a lot of these people. Because, look, they'd rather have something, you know, some safe Western slop over, you know, the edgy shonen slop. I hate most of Annie too because of most of the people. Fucking no kidding. Or Mouth Breathers, anime channel, but covering Western shows? Yeah, not a tourist, by the way. Yeah, these safer... consumption YouTubers don't care about anything. They'll just talk about whatever's popular. Let's see. What? Yeah, see, look. I binged Invincible. 300,000 views. Why do you think she made a video on Season 4? Anyways, though, what the fuck? What was I gonna do? Where's the Rev video? Yeah, it's getting late, and we're at 3:20, so we're gonna watch the Rev video. He did call out Asmongold, apparently. So we'll watch this, and then we'll end the stream for tonight. So apparently, I don't know. Apparently Rev might actually... Maybe the old Rev is finally returning. I mean, I think he's only made this video to try and save face a bit because people were calling him out. But, you know, let's see.
So guys, Rev here. So in this video, we'll be once again returning to the Stellar Blade Blood Rain.
As the worst people alive making content, these videos are so useless. Because also, Invincible is also another hype slop show. And the tourist's mind, it might as well be anime. Lol. Look, tourists don't even really see a difference between cartoons and anime. Let's see here. I don't know, 1.2.
Discourse. Now, over the past couple of days, I have covered the many different crash outs people are having.
What happened to Rev, and why are you referring the old Rev? Well, look, Rev, he basically denounced Lolicon, and, you know, he doesn't really make his kind of old anti-censorship content anymore. And in the case of this Asmongold thing, okay, so leftists, you know, they see the new Stellar Blade and they're like, this is a pedo game. The Eevee looks like a literal child. Okay, and then Rev, as well as a lot of other YouTubers, jump on this and they're like, the woke left is melting down over the new Stellar Blade. But then Asmongold comes out and says the exact same thing, that Eevee looks like a literal child, and then it's just crickets from a lot of these guys. Yeah, so, but Rev might be redeeming himself a bit. Let's see.
Having over the design of the new main protagonist for this franchise, Eevee. Now, today we're going to be talking about really two prongs. First, some of the takes on the situation from Asmongold, which have been quite controversial, and then the response from Mugen, who is trying to subtly disagree with Asmongold while also taking pot shots at his supposedly brainwashed community, and Mugen is getting absolutely torn apart. Now, of course, with the Stellar Blade discourse, we have seen countless people on social media try...
As far as anime is concerned, Asmongold is a tourist, yeah. I mean, he's not even really into anime, but...
Try to label this character as a literal child, and that there's something very, very wrong with you if you enjoy this character. Now,
Asmongold isn't real. I agree with some of his takes, but I haven't watched him in a long while, and I'm glad I haven't, yeah. Where it's definitely not Asmon's shirt that did the talking. Asmongold strikes again. That's why he has a problem with it. Asmongold is just some Twitter regurgitator. No clue why people even listen to this guy, Room Temp IQ. I don't really get it. I guess he's kind of like, center-right junk food. Same reason why Critical Drinker is popular, I guess.
Of course, we've seen some viral cosplays like this, where adult women are cosplaying as Eevee, and they look very similar. In fact, here is a side-by-side of this cosplayer and the character, and I would be very interested to hear what the massive difference is, where this is an adult woman that is...
Aside from Yukai, only Espiritu and Chibi really called out Asmon for his hypocrisy. Yeah. There's a couple others. I mean, Dr. Disaster, he mentioned it, but it was pretty minor, but,
in no way problematic versus this, that is a literal child and something you should be locked up for. Now, of course, some people are looking at comments from the Stellar Blade Blood Rain CEO, who said that they wanted to make Eevee shorter and younger looking than the former protagonist Eve, but of course, the psychopaths on social media lack any reading comprehension. They see shorter and...
Yeah, she looks 12, that's right. One clip of Asmongold reacting to the Dragon Maid clip shows just how performative he always was. He sounds like he's reading his opinions from a script. Because he ran out of material. Oh, maybe we'll do that for the last one. I'll try and find that clip.
And younger, in their minds, that confirms their headcanon that this is a literal child and that you should go around harassing people over it. Now, one of the people to make a take about Eevee is, of course, Asmongold, who said that she looks like a child, and he would go on later to say that he thinks anyone who consumes anything lolly-related is a full-blown predator. And he would have one of the longest back and forths on Twitter I've seen from him in quite some time, where people were disputing his claims, even bringing...
Wearing my I Hate Neocon shirt, hell yeah. Real weird thing about Asmon getting on this train that's pretty out of character and dishonest of him. He's even been interacting with Korean girls on Insta that look like Eevee in their 20s. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Didn't he date a Korean girl too? Or an Asian girl? Whatever. Asmongold making his own evidence and graphs actual clown. I wonder what BS he would say to that one-to-one cosplay. But it's robot clanker, lol. Look, it gets even worse, okay? He said just ask AI.
Up studies and examples to prove against him, and when confronted with this, he simply says he's basing this off of his feelings, which of course, if any other person was trying to make a blanket statement against millions of people, labeling them as something dangerous, he would laugh them out of the building for basing their opinion on their feelings and not actual evidence or anything like that. In fact, he goes further and says that AI would agree with him.
It's even crazier because Emerald Apple, who he's debating with, literally shows off a whole bunch of sources to prove their point. And, Asmongold just dismisses everything. Rain looks at anything that could possibly offend Western women and goes, weird. This is literally Diddy blood shit, bro. Glances at Longhouse for approval.
And spoiler alert, it doesn't. Point being, I disagree with Asmongold's take here, and a lot of people in his own community disagree. But that's okay. We're grown adults. We're mature. We can disagree on things. Just because I agree with Asmongold on other things doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. It is healthy to be able to disagree. Now, one person who does not believe that is possible...
So we got that there. And there's other stuff like Asmongold, even just, doubling down, rejecting the evidence. He also... was banning people for disagreeing with him, so.
Possible is Mugen, the old Muginator over here, who is trying to, on the one hand, somewhat defend Asmongold's take on Stellar Blade, while also taking pot shots at Asmongold's community, trying to label them as brainwashed and completely incapable of disagreeing with him, not only on this subject, but on any subject. Now, I think there's some context needed for Mugen and his current state of mind right now. I think he's seething about many things. Now, you guys know over the past couple of months, he got into some hot water and his credibility took a big hit.
Revolution in Ireland? What's revolutionary about race riots? Exactly, man, okay? The Irish people, okay, they're taking back their country. All right, simple as.
When he made a video about Psychono. Psychono was outed as a serial cheater, but unfortunately, the main Google Doc sharing this information was made by this Himomo individual who not only labeled him a cheater, but went further and labeled him as a dangerous predator. Of course, that is a gigantic...
We don't need this whole fucking thing. Rev's a moron. Asmon's calling people pedos. This isn't a, well, I like strawberry. I think those Twitter people are just rage baiting me. That's the thing, okay? We can disagree like adults. Look, you could go into the whole weeds of it, but look, it's honestly calling, you know, a huge portion of people, potentially, even like all the people who are excited for this new Stellar Blade game and also the developers, pedos. It's not exactly a minor disagreement, okay? We're talking about slander. When South Africa does it against the Boers, it's revolutionary. When Irish do it, it's racism, yeah.
And of course, she has not taken down the related post and Google Doc and has really used this attention to...
So I don't like Asmongold. He's so disingenuous, and his good takes aren't interesting or even his own. But his shit takes do way more harm than the ones he's just stealing off Twitter, yeah.
Promote her adult content for basically the minimum wage standard and made a now they're in all openly admitted and even shared a Discord.
Okay, I don't really care about this fucking Mugen drama as much. Rev fell off ever since he stopped putting effort into editing his videos and started using the VTuber model. I mean, it's pretty sloptastic these days. Bro, you need to get off Twitter. North Ireland did these riots against Irish Catholics. It is initiated by British loyalists. What? Bro. Oh, yeah, whatever you say, man. Yeah, the rest of my comment kept getting filtered. That's not a simple disagreement. Yeah.
Call where she was fully aware that Psychono was cheating on his girlfriend, and she was still trying...
So this is all just about Mugen being, you know, a dishonest bastard. Okay, who cares?
...to get him back at that moment, knowing full well his girlfriend was in the other room who showed his person. In fact, the clout is with Psychono.
Okay, bro, we don't need a whole summary on the fucking Psychono drama.
No. Including VTubers like this, showing their interaction with the backlash was concerned. He claimed he was doing the right thing, but the note for a weak attitude about as a backchain to defend the honor of Swissonis. Endlessly the unseen someone who concept Gold not only against all
okay, here. I think we're finally out of that shit. Okay, let's slow it down again. Any two drama would rather watch 10 hours of Enoq videos. Fuck.
Take, even if they like the person making it. So let's go through some of the things Asmongold said. Well, number one, he said that Eevee looks like a child. Now, a lot of people have been using the standard not only against...
Holy padding, did he mix up what video he was recording? I think he just wanted to sort of shit on Mugen and kind of distract from the Asmongold thing.
Characters like this. But against real people, especially when you have a more realistic looking character like this. And a lot of people are quick to point out that people use this same sort of argument to call Asmongold a predator over his... I think former girlfriend, I'm not sure if they're still together, but on the left you have Eevee from Stellar Blade, and this is the girlfriend of Asmongold. The former, current, whatever, but...
Yeah, so Rev's bringing up an actual good point here. It's like saying environmentalists can't genuinely believe in environmentalism and AI data centers because they took money from Chinese.
Please explain to me how there is a massive difference here. There really isn't, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with Asmongold.
Probably not clapping back at Asmon because he uses him against Hassan in almost every video. Fuck, don't even get me started on the Hassan posting.
For dating an adult woman like this.
She looks younger than Eevee. Honestly, she does, actually.
But this logic of calling people predators over Eevee's design, well, it seems pretty racist. And it's something that people have used against people like Asmongold for a very long time. And again, if you're going to say that she looks like a child, how do you explain stuff like this? Are you going to say this about this woman? Because, again, I'm hard-pressed to understand how there is a night and day difference between these appearances. And when it comes to...
It's no surprise he doesn't want to go all in on Asmon. He'll let Tectone dog walk him before, too, yeah.
To Stellar Blade itself, people are trying to rewrite history, saying that nobody claimed Eve, the original protagonist, looked like a child. But that is not true. People were doing the same exact thing with Eve when she was released about 2 years ago. They were saying she looked like a literal child, and then when these same people found out that she was based on 3D imaging of a real adult woman, they didn't even care.
And look, the whole thing, the reason why, you know, these people do this is that it's effectively just to try and shut down the game, okay? You have these salty feminists, these hags, who don't like how there's a game with a sexy woman in it, alright? So they just try and pull this pedo card, okay? They're like, oh, she looks like a child, so if you like it, you're a pedophile. All right, it's just a way to to try and shut it down. It's the same reason why, you know, words like Nazi and racist have been used so heavily against right-wing people. It's just to shut down those ideas, okay, those people.
They continue to call people predators for enjoying this character. They said it still looks like a child because, well, it's racist. They see a youthful-looking adult woman, specifically an Asian woman, and they have these very disgusting claims, and we're seeing it happen again with Eevee. And of course, Asmongold would also make these claims about lolly enjoyers being predators, and he would have this...
Yeah, they'll run out of buzzwords eventually. Yeah.
Arts that he made, and honestly, it's all based on his feelings. He doesn't have anything to back this up other than his own feelings. He feels like this is the correlation, which sounds very familiar. It sounds like some Jack Thompson territory where back a couple decades ago...
It's funny how that image is edited.
Oh, this guy was on a moral crusade to convince a bunch of soccer moms.
Mixture of insecurity and not wanting to allow men to enjoy things, yeah.
That playing violent video games like Grand Theft Auto was going to turn their children into violent people committing real crimes. And
normies appeal to the most despicable moral extremes as an excuse to bully and harass people they don't like, yeah.
And that sort of bubble he's creating sounds like something that Jack Thompson would have made all those years ago. Now, of course, I showed this earlier. This is a screen recording of a back and forth between Asmongold and one of his fans disagreeing with him. And to sum up what we're seeing here, the fan brought in studies that disprove some of the things he's claiming, specific examples that disprove some of his points. But Asmongold really just dug his heels in and doubled down on everything and just openly admitted this is based on his feelings. And if Asmongold was coming across an opinion from someone who's basing a very large blanket statement on their own feelings, he would laugh them out of the building. In fact, people also brought up the fact that a lot of people who project about fictional content end up being horrible people themselves. And with the Stellar Blade discourse...
You know, yeah, so Rev brings this up. Literally as this whole drama with Asmongold is going on, this other fucking artist who says that lolly is pedophilia gets outed as a sex pest. I swear, it's it's like every time. Yeah, calling people pedos is a minor disagreement. Yeah, these people
I
are
literally
disgusting.
covered this yesterday. A popular artist who obviously isn't taking the feedback well since they've gone private on Twitter. This person was making tweets talking about how you're a predator for enjoying the character Eevee, and even said she looks like a child in her face and all those things. And he was outed for his own history of sending unsolicited pictures to women and also justifying it because he was worked up, and then also had tweets defending literal predators. And of course, to add on to the hypocrisy here, he also has lolly hentai in his likes back when likes were public, many such cases. But he ended his little swan song here by saying, petite women exist, ignoring the obvious part that her face has the proportions of a child's, which of course is the same thing we're hearing in this overall discussion. And then Asmongold also brings up lolly characters, which he doesn't understand the definition of. That's not a mystery to anyone. People
that's another one
who have followed Asmongold know he doesn't understand what that even means. It is a petite body type in fiction. It has nothing to do with age, and you can see his community pushing back on him when he is
head size of consent. Man.
Surprised that they're calling a character like Frieren a lolly, which fits the definition very well. In fact, as pointed out in the comments here, what's the difference between these characters? You have Frieren, Tatsumaki, Rebecca, Megan.
You know, weirdly enough, Tatsumaki is a lolly, and she, I mean, her body's even longer, so.
I mean, what is the massive difference between these characters? There really isn't one. And one of the good examples here is Rebecca from Cyberpunk. This is a character that is in her 20s.
Honestly, I think way more people would consider Frieren a lolly if she was sort of more sexualized in the show. Or even if sort of fan art kind of drew her more accurately, but for large-headed women. Asmon used the 1,000-year-old excuse, by the way. That shit made me fucking laugh. You know, people always, you know, say that against lolicons, but it's always, you know, like the anti-lolicon copers who use the 1,000-year-old argument.
She's petite, and she's undoubtedly a lolly. In fact, the studio that created the anime refer to her as a lolly. And I have reported on this. I remember reporting on this years ago and getting death threats and people going after me.
Yeah, the good old days.
Not only angry at the truth of what I'm reporting, like what literally happened, but they're also telling the...
Frieren would be more like lolly if she was given softer features. Just give her bigger eyes and you can see it. Yeah. Him using that unironically was really fucking funny. Yeah.
Creators, they're wrong about their own description. They're accurate.
They need to look up... Oh, wait.
Your description of this character. In fact, another character that was mentioned is Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki is another character in her late 20s, petite build. And we've seen this transcend not just to harassing people over fictional characters, but harassing real women as well, just like we're seeing with these stellar...
Love how Rev is trying to call out Asmongold in the most weak way. If this was Hassan, Rev would go hell's blaze on him. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Espirito. I mean, look, I'll give him a little... I'm glad he at least made the video. But even though, you know... look, I can understand being a little lenient to your friends, but the thing is that Asmongold, from an anime perspective, Asmongold isn't even our friend, right? I mean, from like a, conservative perspective, kinda. But I mean, Asmongold, he doesn't watch anime. He has a lot of these, normie takes. He's really not an anime fan, right? And Rev was an anime channel. Now it's just conserva slop, but, yeah, people would freak out over Freeran, but like I said, show's pretty inoffensive. Fortunately, doesn't have fan service. Can't go friendly fire. Isn't it just Rev? Other YouTubers were going soft on Asmond. Asmongold is not your friend. Yeah, Asmongold is also firmly pro-choice. I mean, how many... But yeah, these based conservatives are still gonna run cover, I'm sure.
For Blade Discourse. You guys probably remember when I talked about the cosplayer Yuki, who's in her 20s, but she's 4'11" and petite. And when she cosplayed as Tatsumaki in this image right here, which went viral with 225,000 likes, she received a barrage of viral tweets calling her pedo bait, saying that anyone attracted to her is a predator. They were trying to harass and slander her. It goes beyond just fictional content. People are using these slanderous connections to harass real people as well. And then we also had...
Yeah. Literally just a neoliberal disguising himself as a heckin' base conservative. Yeah. Wonder if Asmon would use the same age reason if the character is Shinobu. Fuck, who knows?
This claim from Asmongold regarding Stellar Blade, saying that AI would agree with him on his take that lolly enjoyers become predators. Well, AI does not agree, at least Grok doesn't. I mean, it's a very straightforward question I typed in here, and they say there's no evidence of any sort of causal connection between the two.
This was maybe the funniest moment of the whole fucking thing.
It's perfectly okay to not like this stuff or to think it's weird, but to start making blanket statements that would literally incriminate millions and millions of people over your feelings, not evidence, but your feelings, is a pretty dangerous one. And also when you have to rely on AI to prove your points, I think you're already kind of losing the battle. And these sort of comments, just slinging out these serious terms over people, especially when it comes to fictional content, is something that's impacted everyone in this scenario, including Asmongold. I remember videos like this, where Hassan was calling him a predator for having a discussion about these related topics, and even in the past, labeling him as a predator for simply reacting to my videos on these related subjects. I think that's completely ridiculous in the behavior of someone I would expect from Hassan, of all people. But all of this to say, I respectfully disagree with what Asmongold is saying, and apparently to Mugen, that is a literal impossibility.
Look, this is the goofy thing with Rev. It's like, I respectfully disagree, but it's like, he called everyone pedos, basically. He called you a pedo too. You still grift with your lolly avatar, and you still sell body pillows of it, bro. Alright, you've still defended Lolicon for years, and still do, even though you don't really make that content anymore. I don't know, man. I mean... Shit.
But we are mature adults. We can disagree on things while still...
Bro is calling people PDFs and he wants to respectfully disagree. Lol. Man. Wait, Rev sells body pillows? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still does. Of his lolly / trap model.
Liking the person who's making the points. But of course, the comments are destroying Mugen. It did not go the way he thought it would. Kirsha saying, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. They're bodying you in the comments and you deserve it. GB saying, people can fully disagree with someone and still like them. Why is this such a foreign concept to many? Madam Savvy saying, why is this such a shocking concept to you that people can disagree but still like someone? You really have embraced a modern audience, huh? And then here's the user who was doing that back and forth on Twitter with Asmongold saying, I still like him. Despite everything, I still like him. To me, he is still in the top 5 of all content creators in my list. I disagree with maybe 5 or so takes out of 100 takes that he makes. I align with his opinions 95% of the time. This ideological purity testing, so common with people like you, is so cringe. I have friends in real life who are on the opposite sides of the political spectrum, agree 50% on controversial issues, and yet we have...
Man, imagine saying that Asmongold is in your top 5 content creators of all time.
We've been very good friends for 20.
Man, you called me a pedophile, but I still respect you is insane. I mean, look, it's not even like Asmongold has really backpedaled. If he did, I'd kind of understand it a little more, but...
Plus years, this post really says a lot about you as a person, Mugen. And that's kind of the whole point, right? Mugen is trying to tiptoe his way around agreeing with Asmongold's points while also bashing his community at the same time. And it's a giant mess. I think Mugen should...
It's funny, this is why he did the whole drama thing with with Saikuno, so he could tie it back in and frame Mujin as the real villain. And I mean, you know, Mujin's a bastard, but I mean, come on. Literally, these people want to get curb stomped by neoliberals and tradcons who hate them to play the conscientious centrist. Look, okay, being a centrist, alright, it just puts you in the middle of the crossfire.
Probably just lay off of the Twitter for a little bit. But overall, that is my response. Like, people are, I guess, shocked that anyone could disagree with Asmongold. I do so respectfully. I think this claim about Eevee and his related claims are pretty bad ones, and ones that can be used in all sorts of scenarios to falsely label people a lot of slanderous things, including people like Asmongold. The same sort of logic could be applied back to him in many different contexts, as I've shown, and I think that's wrong. So we shouldn't be supporting these sorts of opinions and using our free speech to disagree with him, which is a very healthy thing to do. But overall, this...
And look, he says that, you know, reminder, Asmongold was banning people in his chat for disagreeing with him. So it's not like Asmongold is this paragon of free speech entirely, you know? God is trying too hard not to hurt Asmongold's feelings. I mean, look, it's very lucrative for Asmongold to react to one of your videos, right? So, man, not arguing against centrism, just this fake. I'm above decrying people who hate me bullshit is what I can't stand. Yeah. Not purity test. Call people PDF slide, especially when he's wrong. I don't know why they go so soft on Asmongold. It's probably because he's freaking heckin' based. Look, the whole thing, I mean, YouTube in general is just kind of clicky, right? But being in Asmongold's good graces is just very beneficial if you're a right-leaning content creator. Because, you know, Asmongold, maybe he reacts to one of your videos. There's a lot of other people who are friends with him. So, you know, if you hate on Asmongold, maybe they go after you, or they'll be less sympathetic with you. It's the whole thing. Like, if you, you know, if you make an enemy out of Asmongold as a, you know, right-leaning YouTuber like Rev, it could cause a lot of career problems. Of course, I still think you should stand on your morals, but that's why people do it. He's, you know, basically just selling out, right? Yeah. Asmongold will dismiss these findings as lacking in concrete hard evidence. Okay, that's crazy. Too big of an audience, poll channel to get on his bad side. He's their guy. Same as Hassan, yeah, that's another thing.
Stellar Blade Blood Rain discourse continues on, and, well, where it goes next, not too sure, but
what?
For now, that's going to do for this video. If you guys enjoy...
Anyway, I guess, one last thing. Asmongold Dragon Maid. Let's see if we can find it. Is this it? Does we have, like, the clip of him reacting to Dragon Maid? Oh, well. Moral of the story, Rev is a grifter and online clicks are cancer. Yeah, exactly. Coward shit, at the end of the day, these YouTubers are looking at this as a job while pretending to be fighting for anime and video. You know, that's the whole thing. It's, you know, it's why I say everyone's a grifter, okay? You know, look, the way, you know, leftists use the term grifter, it's not exactly accurate, but pretty much every YouTuber, to some extent, is grifting. You know, they'll cover topics that they think will get views. They'll change around their opinions to, you know, please audiences. They'll not step on certain toes, right? But, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean they don't believe what they say. Like, the only true grifter I've seen on the right, like, 100%, is Andy Pants Gaming, because he unironically doesn't believe a word he says. His entire persona is a lie. But, you know, that's a whole nother discussion. But, whatever, let's just... I couldn't find... maybe there's another one, but this is just what I found.
Somebody used AI to fix the Dragon Maid dub? Oh, boy.
Oh, those pesky patriarchal societal demands were getting on my nerves, so I changed clothes.
What's with that outfit?
Oh, everyone was always saying something to me, so I tried toning it down for exposure. How is it?
You should try changing your body next.
Damn. Bro, like, she was savage about that.
It's no wonder those annoying voice actors are upset.
They're all so arrogant and annoying.
Nah, just the Western ones.
Bro, I wasn't expecting that. Damn, that's really good. Bro, no wonder they're worried about losing their job. Bro, I'd be worried too. This shit was funny. I would have never known this was AI.
How would you like to respond to that kind of criticism?
To the criticism, like, so I tried.
Well, I guess that's, I don't know, I guess that's the extent of Asmongold's anime experience. Watching, like, 2 episodes of Freerin and looking at a meme on the, an AI meme. Let's see, so it's just LARPing. Anyways, I think that's about it for today. Yeah, it's getting late. We're almost at 4 hours. Shit. But, you know, it was a good stream, though. I had a lot of fun. I definitely got a lot of more content to work on. Actually, I'll say this much. The video on Enoq, it's done, and I'm planning on uploading it tomorrow evening, so look forward to that. It's definitely a long one, but I think it's worth it at least. Anyways, though, but yeah. That's about it for today. If you enjoy... Bro, I watched Freeran and Gunda Koreans on Free Cat TV. I'm based in no East Asian culture. Yeah, literally, Asmongold. But anyways, that's about it for me. Like the video, like the stream if you enjoyed. Subscribe, you know, all that. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Kai Marin, and